Well, Chatham has struck out 29 times, one more, and while Wareham hasn't been getting on base and certainly hasn't been driving runs in, Chatham the only team with a worse OBP and a worse slug than Wareham. So two teams hoping to break out today. One team is.
Yeah, Wareham in game one was 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position, left 12 on the base paths. Yesterday in the home opener, only one guy got on base past the third inning. He was 3 for 4. It was Chris Ramirez, and CeCe Gabriel is with the shortstop now.
Thanks, guys. CeCe Gabriel here with infielder for the Gatemen, Chris Ramirez. Chris, you have been exceptional the last 2 days in the midst of a little bit of a drought, 0-2 so far. You were 3 for 4 yesterday against Hyannis. What's been working for you?
I've just been seeing the ball pretty well, trying to get on base and, get on base for the guy behind me.
And outside of the Gatemen, Team USA invitation for you. How does that motivate you while you're in development here with Wareham?
It's super exciting. I mean, I'm just trying to, stick with my process and get ready for that. This is kind of trying to get ready for USA, and I'm excited.
What does getting ready look like for you in terms of skills?
First off, staying in the weight room, and then on the baseball side, just sticking to my process out there, taking infield work serious as well as batting practice.
And what is your process?
Let's see, in the weight room, it's, 4 days a week, and then out here, it's just, you guys see us out here every day taking BP and infield, so I just take it as serious as I can.
And from an X's and O's perspective, some people can talk about that in terms of what to strengthen about your team right now, being 0-2. But from a mentality perspective, what needs to shift with the team?
Honestly, I think we're good where we're at. We're just, trying to get used to each other, and it's trying to get closer with the guys, build a relationship, and at the end of the day, just have fun playing baseball.
What's your team's current mentality?
Have fun and have fun. That's it.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. Back to you guys.
Thank you.
Two teams trending in the opposite direction. It's Chatham and it's Wareham. Both 0-2 starts, both guaranteed one thing. One of them is going to walk out of here with a win tonight. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky as we get you set for Wareham and Chatham here at Spillane Field on what is a nice night. Adam, these two squads have had a rough start. 0-2 to the start to the season, but a perfect chance to bounce back here on a Monday night.
Well, absolutely, and it's really been a similar recipe. Not clean defense in the field, not great power, not great contact at the plate for either of these two teams. They've had decent pitching performances, not just from starters, but also from relievers. An interesting one, something's got to give today. There will be a win at the win column at the end of the night, one way or another.
Certainly, and Wareham has struggled so far to put runs on the board. That has been the story. Back-to-back 5-0 losses to start off this season.
Absolutely, and it's getting production 1 through 9, but someone that hasn't had the issue is the guy that's been stacked at the top of the lineup for fourth-year manager Ryan Smythe, and that's Chris Ramirez, the shortstop out of Cal Baptist, into the transfer portal in search of his new home. Yesterday, in Wareham's 5-0 loss to Hyannis, he was the lone base runner for the Gatemen from the third inning and beyond. It wasn't his fault that Wareham lost its second straight game. This guy, 3 singles. On the downside, Dan, he struck out just 6% of his at-bats at Cal Baptist. He's had a punch-out in back-to-back games so far this season. Look for him to lower those numbers, but obviously he's a guy that it's tough to pitch to for opposing pitchers. And for the hitters, it's going to be tough.
Good for him to get in the hit column, most importantly, though. And then on the other side, the DH Connor Schaus is someone to watch out for.
Well, absolutely. The two-way guy out of Texas Tech that has been absolutely phenomenal for the Red Raiders out there in Lubbock. He's taken more of a primarily hitting role, 1,000-plus OPS in the Big 12, and he's certainly been the silver lining in this Chatham offense that has not really produced otherwise. The only guy with multiple hits that's back in the lineup today for the Anglers. He is the only one in the Chatham lineup with 3 hits in 2 games for the Anglers so far in 2026. So they got him stacked in the top half of the lineup today. Manager Dennis Cook trying to find the winning recipe for this Chatham team out to an 0-2 start.
3 runs for Chatham in its first 2 games, 0 for Wareham. Both those sides are going to look to change that in this game. First pitch coming your way next here on Cape League TV.
Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com.
Getting ready for first pitch here at Spillane Field between the Chatham Anglers and the Wareham Gatemen. Wareham looking to bounce back in a big way, and Logan Hastings, the man on the mound tonight for the Gatemen, trying to deliver a strong start on the bump.
Yeah, out of Maryland, has already been in and out of the transfer portal, heading to Kentucky, and it's a guy that doesn't have a ton of pitches, but he throws them for strikes. The 6-foot, 185-pound right-hander. Cutter, slider, fastball, changeup, and a curveball that he mixes in at a very, very low dosage.
Bases Rhett Johnson, the center fielder, to start things off here tonight at Spillane Field. The first pitch catches the top of the zone for strike one. Both of these teams losing not just last night, but in the first two games of the season. Chatham has put up 3 runs in its first couple of games, and Wareham has put up none. So both teams looking to bounce back in a big way offensively as we take a look at the starting lineup here for the Anglers as this pitch is chopped over to the left side. Elam Fields throws across the diamond in time. It's a quick out, number 1 for Logan Hastings in this game, and that is something that each Wareham pitcher has done in each of the first 3 games. They have gotten that first out.
Absolutely, and Garrett Lambert on opening day in Katuitt got off to a fantastic start, went 5 innings and gave up just 1 hit in that opening day start. And then yesterday, it was the first 2 batters that were easily retired for Wade Walton, but then Hyannis really started to get to him as the lineup progressed down the line.
And you speak of Garrett Lambert, just recently committed to Alabama today, so big congratulations to Garrett. Had a strong outing for the Gatemen, first time out in the opener. The DH Connor Schaus at the dish, someone that we talked about in the pregame show, takes a first pitch ball. Hastings set at the belt, ready to deliver the 1-0 pitch. Misses on the inside part of the plate, and Schaus, someone that loves to hit the baseball, tattoos it, was a first-team All-Big 12 selection, batted over 300, 10 bombs to go along with 66 runs batted in. Batted cleanup last night for the Anglers, up to the 2 spot here at Wareham tonight. Fouls off the 2-0 pitch, and the count goes to 2-1.
For Hastings, it's a little bit different. It's a guy that does throw a cutter and a fastball, 2 different pitches, but he actually prioritizes the cutter at nearly 40% and the fastball just a quarter of the time at 25%. And his go-to off-speed is the slider, also throws it at about 26% even dosage to both righties and lefties.
2-1, cut on and miss for strike 2, and Hastings committing recently to Kentucky after being at Maryland this past season. 71 strikeouts in his sophomore season, was a consistent starter with the Terrapins, and he looks to continue some of that success here in Wareham, bring that to the Wildcats next season. 2-ball, 2-strike count here with 1 down. In the top of the first, the pitch smacked into deep left field. Apple giving chase. That ball 1 hops off the wall. Going over to second is Schaus. He is in there standing. It's a 1-out double for Connor Schaus, and Chatham has a runner into scoring position early on.
Well, there was a reason why we talked about him in the pregame show, Dan, and that's because what he can do right there. 2 hits yesterday, picks up right where he left off, and got a hold of that one, sent it off the wall, and Chatham has an early man in scoring position.
More early trouble for the Gatemen. Last night, Wade Walton, who was the starting pitcher, got the first 2 outs of the top of the first inning, and then he proceeded to allow 6 straight aboard which scored all 5 runs for Hyannis in what was a 5-0 loss for the Gatemen. Hastings looking to avoid that here against the right fielder, Jacob Parker. Runner over at second with 1 down. Here's the pitch. Chopped into center field. That ball is down. Going home is Schaus. Here's the throw from center field. It's cut off at first base by Lira, and it's an early RBI single for Jacob Parker, and Chatham takes a 1-0 lead.
Not the start that you want if you're Logan Hastings. 3 batters and 1 run. The Anglers hitters certainly liking what they're seeing because they're attacking early in counts. Hastings hasn't thrown a ton of pitches early on. Just hasn't been very successful with the locations. Trying to work around the edges, giving too much middle and in.
Left one high in the zone there. Cooper Neville, the shortstop, in the box now. And he takes a first pitch strike at the top of the zone.
Still hasn't even thrown double-digit pitches. This next one will be Hastings' 10th. That was something that Ethan Bioto did really well yesterday out of the pen, was command the zone, but not a ton of hard contact from Harbor Hawks hitters.
0-1 misses high and away. Neville, the senior who attended Dallas Baptist this past season, transferring to Alabama after a season where he hit .317, 8 bombs, and 38 RBIs. Ready to make that step up to the Crimson Tide in the SEC. Going over to second is Parker. The pitch is caught on a miss. Throw down to second. In time, he got him. A nice throw by the catcher, Cohen Nikolai, in his first game for the Gatemen behind the dish. Snipes Parker over at second.
Yeah, that's huge. Drew Rogers cut down a runner yesterday, and then today, getting his first start in 2026, Cohen Nikolai eliminates the 1 base runner for Chatham, and now 2 down.
1-1. The 1-2 is high and away. Count goes to 2-2. So Chatham with the early run, Schaus with the double into left field. Parker brought him home, but he's caught stealing over at second, and back-to-back games now where the Gatemen have nabbed a runner stealing. The 2-2 misses high and away. And really a chance for the Gatemen to put up a 0, which would be something big in the first inning, especially after last night. Just limiting the damage, letting up that 5, only 1 on the board here. This one's flared out of play. We'll do it again at 3-2.
And that was tough for the Wareham offense yesterday, was when you go to swing it for the first time, you're already trailing by 5 runs. Not saying that that was the difference, but when you talk about playing complementary baseball, on game 1, it was really the defense that came back to haunt Wareham. 4 errors in the field.
Payoff, cut on and missed for strike 3. So Hastings does a nice job of limiting the damage, only faces 4 batters here in the top of the first, but gives up an early run. It's Chatham 1, Wareham nothing, with the Gatemen coming to bat here on Cape League TV.
Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting finance.
Bottom of the first here in Wareham. The Gatemen trailing the Anglers 1-0 after an early run from Chatham in the top half of the first. The Gatemen bats with a little bit of work to do against the starter for Chatham, Oliver Pudvar, here tonight. It's the first start of the season for Pudvar, and he looks to make a difference here, really solidify things for this Angler squad and give them a nice start.
Yeah, and what a season he had down there in Storrs, Connecticut for the Yukon Huskies. 14 starts, 4.3 ERA, 2 complete games on the year. So something that you're not used to seeing in summer baseball is guys with serious durability and the ability to extend into games longer and longer. But this is a guy that can do it. Not sure how much Dennis Cook wants to push his starter early on this summer, but certainly a guy that Wareham could see 2-3 times throughout the lineup.
Fastball, cutter, slider, and changeup. That's the 4-pitch mix for Pudvar, and the first batter he'll face in this game is Chris Ramirez, the shortstop, who had 3 of 5 hits yesterday for the Gatemen. Tried to spark this offense, but never got beyond first base, and the 3 times that he did reach base takes a first-pitch strike.
He's a big contact hitter. Put up plenty of hits. Broke the single-season record at Cal Baptist, but doesn't hit for a ton of power.
Quickly down 0-2 against Pudvar. 50 strikeouts for the redshirt senior this past season with the Huskies. Looking for punch-out number 1 on the evening right here. But Ramirez says no, lines it straight up the middle, and it's a leadoff single for Chris Ramirez here in the bottom of the first.
That's big time. 4 hits in his last 5 at-bats, becoming a real luxury at the top of this order for Ryan Smythe. And as the skipper tries to construct this lineup day after day, at least got one that's pretty easy to check off. It's right there at the leadoff spot. Ramirez, write it in, move on.
Had a leadoff single in the bottom of the first last night as well. R.J. Hamilton at the plate. Did not play yesterday. Swings and misses, 4-strike 1. He played in the opener against Cotuit. Batted 9th in that game and went 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. So looking to get on the board in the hit column here at home. Takes the 0-1 outside for ball 1, and Hamilton had a great year at Duke. Transferred him from Vanderbilt and set a career high in hits, RBIs, and total bases. Looking to bring that same impact here to the Gatemen. Quick check over on first on Ramirez. Not going anywhere. Count still 1-1.
He can, though. He can run. Got thrown out yesterday, but certainly has capabilities to swipe a bag.
Hamilton shakes his head no as he sees that one go high and away. A 2-ball, 1-strike count. The Gatemen have still not scored a run here in the 2026 Cape Cod Baseball League season. 18 straight innings without one. Trying to break that in this one. Hamilton takes at the knees, and it's 2-2.
Hamilton, another guy that's kind of a luxury for Ryan Smythe, but for much different reasons than Chris Ramirez. Hamilton got the start in center field in Game 1 against Cotuit, making the start at second base in Game 3.
Stares at ball 3. And the count goes full. Some early pressure here for Oliver Pudvar to work out of. The Gatemen trying to do anything in their power to get that first run across. The payoff pitch, cut on and missed, 4-strike 3. Hamilton couldn't keep up with the gas, and there's one down here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Pudvar, not a super high velocity guy. That fastball sits in the high 80s, touches 90 miles an hour, but not the kind of start that R.J. Hamilton wants, batting second with the leadoff man aboard.
The DH Lincoln Garcia steps in, takes a first pitch strike at the top of the zone. Batted 5th yesterday, but went 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. So looking to correct that here tonight. First time this season that he's batted in the 3-hole. Another look over at Ramirez on first. He's back in time.
And Garcia trying to do what his college teammate Connor Schaus did in the first inning. Obviously, Garcia heading to Texas in and out of the transfer portal, but knows Schaus well.
Ramirez goes to second. Here's the throw down and plenty of time, and he's out. Tried to do the swim dodge there to get around it. Not meant to be, and there is 2 down here in the first.
We talked about it plenty yesterday, Dan. How does Wareham generate some offense? Because right now what they're doing hasn't cut it. So we talked about stealing bases, trying to work guys around the base paths with bunts, steals, hit and runs, and right there Ramirez gets on, tries to steal, doesn't work.
And the struggle is real right now for the Gatemen. Make that 19 innings in a row to start off this 2026 season without a run. It's 1-0 Chatham going to the second here on Cape League TV.
Every child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights, be prepared, and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.
Top of the second here in Wareham with Chatham holding a 1-0 lead over the Gatemen. It is 5-6-7 due up for the Anglers here in the top half of the second, and Logan Hastings got into some early trouble there in the first inning, let up a run, but was able to get out of it and limit the damage.
Yeah, and this is a good lineup that Dennis Cook has constructed here in Game 3, and some guys are still trickling in from their collegiate season, so the Anglers still waiting to get their full 9 that they want to trot out every day, but a very strong top of the order for Chatham, and Logan Hastings back-to-back hits did all the damage.
First baseman Harlan Hovatter at the dish. Chops the first pitch foul. And Hovatter went to Meridian Community College this past season, now transferring to Mississippi State, quickly in and out of the portal, and he earned that promotion for right reason. A .346 batting average, 3 bombs, 22 runs batted in. A power hitter from the left side. Looks at strike 2.
Pretty cool story with Hovatter, too, going to Mississippi State. Obviously, an excellent season, and like you said, deserved it, but this is a guy that's Mississippi State through and through, grew up a fan of the Bulldogs. Dad went there, mom went there, both part of the performing arts department.
Goes down on strikes here, and for a second, Hovatter thought that there was a drop third, but not to be. So there's one down here in the top of the second strikeout of the evening for Logan Hastings.
Good start, mixing in that secondary pitch, and for Hastings, that third pitch really depends on what side he's pitching it to. Sometimes it's the slider, sometimes it's the changeup. That time goes off speed, gets him for the first out.
Corbin Reynolds steps in. He's the catcher tonight. Looks at a first pitch strike. Just his second game of the season here with Chatham. Batted 7th a couple of games ago. Gets a bump up here to the 6th spot in just his second game of the Cape League season. 0-1. Off speed, misses just off the plate. Reynolds, the sophomore from Vanderbilt, where he batted .234 this past season in 49 games. Not bad for a freshman campaign. Looking to up those skills here on the Cape with Chatham this summer. Hastings set at the belt and deals. Went right back to the same spot as the last pitch and not called by home plate umpire Charlie Tashin. Hastings gets the sign. Set at the belt. Now fires. Catches the bottom part of the plate. Works himself into a 2-2 count on the precipice of 3 strikeouts in a row. Starting to find a little bit of a groove now attacking these Chatham hitters. At 71 strikeouts this past season at Maryland. And he just misses upstairs, and the count goes full.
I think he liked the spot. But luckily for Corbin, Reynolds lives to fight another day.
Full count, 1 down here in the top of the second. The pitch. Misses on the outside part of the plate. 3 pitches in that at-bat from Hastings to that same spot on the outside corner and didn't get the call on any of them.
And there was one that might have clipped the bottom of the zone, but nonetheless, Hastings can't dance that much with just 1 out. That's a spot where still got to pound the zone, maybe a little bit scared, trying to pitch a little bit more passive after allowing back-to-back hits in the first inning after retiring the leadoff man, first frame. Chance to bounce back here against Frazier.
Lefty steps in with a runner on first and 1 down. First pitch finds the top of the zone for strike 1. Frazier went to Florida State this past season, currently in the portal looking for a new home. Batted just above 300 with the Seminoles. 0-1 offering from Hastings. Clips the top part of the zone. It's quickly 0-2. Two for 7 so far on the Cape season for Gabe Frazier, looking to make an impact here in the second. Hastings wants to give a quick check over on Reynolds. He's back there in plenty of time. Looking to punch out Frazier here with 1 on and 1 down. The pitch just chopped to the right side, foul. Do it again at no balls and 2 strikes.
This is where I think Hastings has the opportunity to mix and match his speeds, because you have the cutter and the fastball that are much higher velocities, and then the slider as well, pitching to a left-handed batter.
Frazier doing a nice job staying alive, fouls it off once again. Transferred to Florida State from Arkansas after his 2025 freshman season, and now in the portal once again. He hit his only home run for the Seminoles in that regional game against St. John's, where the Johnnies pulled off a thriller down in Tallahassee. Another look over at first on Reynolds. Nothing doing. And in that freshman season at Arkansas, a 250 average, so upped it a hefty amount this past season with the Seminoles and looking for a new landing spot for the 2027 season. The 0-2 pitch. Once again, hit foul. This is becoming a tough at-bat for Logan Hastings.
Pesky hitter. Hastings just wants to put him away. Frazier seeing as many pitches. More pitches you see, the better you're going to get with guys timing that you haven't faced before. Frazier from Florida State in the ACC. Hastings in the Big Ten.
And another foul ball from Frazier. He is refusing to go down in this at-bat.
Yeah, and this is a Chatham team that's in a similar position as Wareham when it comes to offensive production. Obviously, the Anglers have scored a run in 2026, but there hasn't been an abundance of production up and down this lineup. So any sign is a good sign for Dennis Cook.
The 0-2 once again hit foul, and you mentioned that. The Anglers did come into this game with the worst batting average in the league, despite Wareham not actually scoring a run just yet at 145. The Gatemen at 177 coming into today's contest, but of course, the Anglers with 3 runs. And the Gatemen still with none. Make that 4 now with the one that they've scored in this game. Hastings battling in this at-bat against Frazier. Here's the pitch. Skied out into right field. Dubovic going back on it. A couple steps away from the track, and he makes the play. 2 down here in the top of the second.
A nice job there from Logan Hastings. No matter how many times that Frazier fouled a pitch off and continued to battle, and he had every reason to try and dance around the zone and get him to chase. He just continued to work inside the rails. Induces a fly out. Easy play for Dubovic. Camps under it. 2 gone.
The second baseman, Tyler Lichtenberger, in now. Spent his season at Clemson this past year, and it's a can of corn into center field. Waxes under it and makes the easy play for out number 3. Verse 0 of the ball game from the Gatemen comes here in the top of the second. Keeps this a 1-0 game as we go to the bottom half here on Cape League TV.
Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen cleanup on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A+ Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Back here in Wareham, Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky as the Anglers lead the Gatemen 1-0. Plenty of Cape League action yesterday. And Adam, there was one game in particular that was a thriller between Falmouth and Brewster.
Yeah, and the score doesn't really do it justice. Brewster with 4 hits in the game in its totality, but 0 heading into the 9th inning, but 3 runs on 4 hits, a late surge, but Falmouth held them off, and a big win for the Commodores to move to 2-0.
Certainly Commodores, Kettleers, and the YD Red Sox, the only 2-0 teams in the league. 4-5-6 here for the Gatemen in the bottom of the second, starting with Dylan Dubovic. The right fielder finds himself in a no-ball, 2-strike count to Oliver Pudvar, who led up a leadoff single in that bottom of the first, but then some help from Reynolds behind the dish, catching Ramirez stealing at second, and back-to-back punch-outs had him face the minimum in that first.
And nice job working around. A little bit of help from his defense. Corbin Reynolds, the catcher, with an absolute laser down the second. Hose Ramirez.
1-2 misses high and away. Dubovic was in the 7-hole yesterday. Moves up to clean up here today. First time we've seen him in that spot. The sophomore from Miami, who had a .312 batting average with the Hurricanes this past season. Grounds 1 foul. We'll do it again at 2-2.
It's hard to confidently say what this Wareham's lineup strengths are, but right now it doesn't feel like this will be a power-hitting team. And just eliminating Ramirez off the base paths just gives you so much more relief to pitch.
Dubovic chases up high and goes down on strikes. That's 3 straight punch-outs for Oliver Pudvar. He is cruising, and there's 1 down here in the bottom of the second.
A lot of swing and miss from Wareham. 14 strikeouts on back-to-back games to start the summer. And today kind of picking up right where they left off yesterday. 3 already in the first 4 batters.
Tony Lira, the first baseman, into the box. It was Caden McDonald at first base last night, and then Lyra came into the game after McDonald was hit on the hand with a pitch. Our beat reporter Jack Knight spoke to him before the game. He said he's feeling good, resting up, nothing broken, excited to get back out there with the guys, hoping to be back on the field later this week, maybe early next week, has a bandage around his hand right now, but happy to get back out there with the Gatemen in just a couple days' time. This one trails foul.
Definitely a good sign for Wareham. In summer baseball, you never want to risk further injury, but it seems like Caden McDonald is committed to sticking it out with the Gatemen, one of the returners for Ryan Smythe. Played for him in his third season, back here for his fourth summer, and certainly a good sign.
He is an integral part of this lineup for the Gatemen. Batted over 300 at Florida this past season and played 31 games with Wareham last summer. So the motivation to be back out on the field here at Spillane, most definitely there. Lyra finds himself in a full count. He's the only Wareham player to have a hit in both of the games to start the season. Had a single against Catuit and then one last night against Hyannis. The payoff pitch, chop foul.
Certainly shown it. He's got the stature of being a very solid hitter, and he showed it early on. 6'2", 225-pounder. Hits in back-to-back games.
Pudvar fires. And Lyra takes down low. Works the base on ball, second base runner of the game for the Gatemen. And Jason Wax will step to the dish with one on and one down.
Yeah, this is a guy that, in Wax, that certainly is trying to find his footing, because we know the talent is in the lumber for Jason Wax. Left-handed hitter, super talented, dominated at Tulane, 327 for the Green Wave this past year after hitting 335 as a true freshman. I was trying to put it all together.
First pitch called a strike on the outside part of the plate, and that play at Tulane earned him the promotion to LSU. He committed just yesterday to the Tigers, staying in state, excited to get after it with LSU next season. But you mentioned it, looking to find his footing. He's 0 for 7 so far to start off this Cape League season. And he went 0 for 3 yesterday with a walk and a strikeout.
Yeah, a couple of strikeouts so far in the season. Got a runner on. Wax, more of a pull hitter from the left side of the plate. Big hole right there between Hovatter and Lichtenberger.
Was a first-team American Conference selection this past season, and for right reason. Lyra skippers back to the bag. Led Tulane in hits, doubles, RBIs, and home runs. He was really the cornerstone down there for the Green Wave. And Wareham expects that same production for him, and it's definitely coming in due time. Grounds the ball to the right side foul. The count goes to 2-2.
Hitting's still contagious, and it's what you hear time and time again. And for a guy like Jason Wax, who, like we've mentioned, he knows, we know he's got it. He knows he has it. Ryan Smythe knows he has it. It's just seeing some guys around you start to produce. Lyra gets on base. A nice opportunity here.
2-2 fouled straight back to the screen. Lyra over at first, worked the base on balls. And Wareham still in search of their first run of the 2026 season. Pudvar set at the belt, now fires, and Wax goes down swinging. Second strikeout of the inning for Pudvar, fourth on the evening. 2 down here in the second.
4 strikeouts, 5 outs for Pudvar. Talked about Hyannis not getting a ton of pressure on them yesterday. 14 strikeouts for Wareham hitters. Chatham, not a clean day in the field defensively yesterday. 4 miscues, but when the Gatemen swing and miss, doesn't really set them up for a ton of success. Runners on, try and cause a little chaos on the base paths.
Going to Cly at the dish now, the catcher. First start of this season for Wareham. Came in as a pinch hitter last night. Struck out in that one, but looking to make an impact here for the Gatemen. The first 2 games of the season, it was Drew Rogers behind the dish, but a new look for the Gatemen here in game number 3 of the Cape Cod Baseball League season. Grounds the ball right back to Pudvar. He gloves, throws to first. Another clean inning of work for Oliver Pudvar, and another inning goes by for the Gatemen without a run. It's 1-0 Chatham heading to the third here at Spillane Field on Cape League TV.
The Cape Cod Baseball League would like to welcome our new league partner.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy! Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation. Huge slides, a not-so-lazy river, and more ways to cool off than you can count. Plan ahead and save. Tickets as low as $39.95. Rally your crew and lock in your date.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420. Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry.
Here at Spillane Field, Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky as Chatham has the lead through 2 innings. A little bit of a different look on defense tonight for the Gatemen. A new face behind the dish for the Gatemen.
Yeah, giving Drew Rogers the day off behind the plate after catching the first 2 games this summer. It's Cohen Nicolai, the backstop from Arizona State. Already saw him gun down a runner earlier today. And it's a Wareham defense that let one get away in Katuitt on Saturday afternoon. And today it's got to be a clean defensive effort. And the Gatemen have to play a good 3 phases of baseball, offense, defense, and pitching, but haven't really had great defense. Just 1 error yesterday, but 5 in 2 games, not going to win you a ton of ball games.
It's not how you want to start the season. So far tonight, 2 of the 3 of those things have been somewhat clicking. Logan Hastings with just 1 run given up, better than yesterday's 5 in the first inning, and the defense has not committed an error so far. But, of course, there's still a goose egg on the scoreboard for Wareham, and they're going to have to wait a half inning to have another crack at breaking that. Caden Dosa, the left fielder, to start things here in the top of the third. 9-1-2 for Chatham. He takes a first pitch strike on the breaker.
Certainly liked how Hastings pitched his last inning. Strikeout, a couple of flyouts, worked around a 1-out walk. Looking for similar results.
Going against the second team All Ivy League selection in Dosa, the senior from Yale, who hit .316 in 45 games this past season. Just turned 21 3 days ago, so enjoying his summer here on the Cape after a successful season with the Bulldogs. Cuts down low, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
This guy especially, you want to keep off the base paths. 28 stolen bases on 28 attempts with Yale this spring.
It's pretty good if you ask me.
No doubt.
Hastings 1-2. Fouled back to the screen. He also had a .945 OPS, so it wasn't just the average or the base running. He really put it all together for a really strong junior campaign.
Absolutely.
And so far this season with Chatham, 1 for 6 across 2 games. Make that 1 for 7 after a nice punch out from Logan Hastings to start off the third.
4th strikeout of the day for Hastings. That time just freezes Dosa in the right-handed batter's box. A guy that is Yale's leadoff hitter, and that's not a characteristic you see out of a ton of leadoff hitters. Going down looking, but a backwards K to start the top of the third for Dosa.
Top of the order for Chatham, Rhett Johnson steps into the box, rounded out over to third to start off the ball game. And he takes a first pitch strike. It's seeming like Hastings is really starting to mix the off speed in there. Well, got Dosa looking and deals a first pitch breaker here to Johnson.
Slider that just dots the outside corner. Comes off the right hand, and from Rhett Johnson, the left-handed hitter. It looks like it's never going to hit the zone, and then the last second just tails right in.
Tried to do exactly that, but this time runs in, ends up clipping the home plate umpire, Charlie Tashin. Does not touch Johnson, so he'll stay in the box. No 1-1 count.
Johnson, another guy looking for his first hit this Cape season. He's drawn 3 walks, but hasn't been able to put one in play and get on.
Puts one in play here, but grounds it right back to Hastings. He runs over to the bag, flips it over to first in time, and quickly 2 down here in the top of the third. This is the pitching efficiency you want from Logan Hastings.
Absolutely, and somewhat a similar story to yesterday, but the difference between Hyannis and Chatham was the Harbor Hawks put up 5 runs in the top of the first, while the Anglers put up just 1. Giving Hastings the opportunity to settle in. Wade Walton yesterday settled in, pitched a clean couple of innings in the second and the third, but the pitch count just got so high after that first frame, couldn't really get deep into the ball game.
First pitch to the DH Schaus, who had that double down the left field line to start things off, and then eventually came in to score for the first run and only run of the ball game. And you mentioned the pitching. It is interesting. Wareham, despite giving up 10 runs coming into this game, had only let up runs in 3 innings between the first 2 games. And same story here tonight, just 1 run on the board in 1 inning for Chatham. The 0-1 pitch. Crushed over to the left side. It gets through. That's a 2-out knock for Connor Schaus. He's 2 for 2 on the evening, and Chatham has a 2-out base runner.
Yeah, first Angler hitter with 5 hits. Came into the day as the only Angler bat with 3 hits and a 2 for 2 start to the day. A great start for a Chatham offense that has been struggling, but when you talk about hitting being contagious in the first inning, Schaus with the double, and then Jacob Parker, the man that strides in, immediately hits him home, and certainly a nice sign for an Anglers offense that hasn't been great.
Parker had the RBI single. Eventually was caught stealing, though, by Nikolai. Takes a first pitch ball in the dirt.
Also yesterday for Chatham, no hits from the top 3 guys in the order. And today, already 3 from the top of the lineup.
Parker making his first start in the 3-hole tonight. Tattoos a ball into shallow center field. That one is down. Going over to third is Schaus. Here's the throw. It's not going to be in time. Going over to second is Parker. And he makes it there safely. So second and third now with 2 down. Some heads-up base running from Jacob Parker put some pressure on Logan Hastings.
And I think with 2 outs, Wareham was okay, testing the long throw from Dubovic all the way to third. But I think all in all probably would have been better suited just to keep the runners on the corners and let Schaus take third. But Parker single and second on the throw. Big time chance for Cooper Neville.
Neville struck out to end off the first inning, and he was the first punch out of the evening for Logan Hastings. So someone that Hastings is okay facing in this spot with second and third and 2 down. Wareham trying to limit the damage here in the third. First pitch. Got on and missed. A nice job there with the breaking ball by Hastings to get ahead.
First base open. Chance to pitch around him a little bit. Harlan Hovatter is on deck. He also struck out against Hastings his first time up, but certainly don't want to continue to drive that pitch count up higher and higher.
Hastings fires. Just misses at the top of the zone. He thought he had it there for a second, but not to be. In the summer of 2026, Neville with 1 RBI looking for 2 and 3 here in the top of the third. Hastings deals. Pitches smacked over to the right side. Just goes foul. So 1 ball, 2 strike count and a chance for Hastings to get out of this inning without letting up a run.
Potential disaster there. That ball being smoked down the line, but for the left-handed hitter just a bit out in front. Hastings back ahead in the count.
A pivotal pitch here in the top of the third with runners on, and he gets the big K. Gets Neville to swing and miss for strike 3. A nice job by Logan Hastings working out of trouble. Puts up back-to-back zeros. Chatham still leading things 1-0 going to the bottom of the third here on Cape League TV.
Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial.
Bottom of the third at Spillane Field. Chatham leading Wareham 1-0. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. And Adam, you can see the zeros at the bottom of the scoreboard. Still not a run across for Wareham in 2026.
Yeah, the Anglers, 4 hits and just 1 run on them. So nice shot from Logan Hastings to strand a single and a couple of singles there in the top of the third. And now Wareham tries to take the momentum after a couple of a strikeout to strand 2 in scoring position.
8-9-1 for the Gatemen. Here in the bottom of the third, starts with the third baseman, Cade Elam. Shoots a ball into right field. Coming in to make the play is Parker. Some nice contact from Elam, but doesn't drop. And there's 1 down in the bottom of the third.
The left fielder, number 13,
Foster Apple next to the dish for the Gatemen. Batted in the 9-hole yesterday and went 0 for 2. Still looking for his first hit here in 2026. Takes the first pitch upstairs, and we were watching Apple in batting practice earlier today. Was putting some nice swings on it. Blew some balls out into left field, trying to find his footing. A guy who went .293 in his collegiate season at Stetson and currently in the portal.
Looking for that new home, a chance to impress college coaches this summer. Batting 9th today. Got a pinch hit situation in game 1, and then been hit by a couple of pitches. So he's had a few opportunities. 0 for 2 yesterday, but a couple of times hasn't really been able to register that at bat because pitchers errant miss.
Fouls a couple of pitches off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here to Foster Apple. Started in 42 games this past season down there at Stetson. And he takes one down low as the count goes full. Chris Ramirez on deck for the Gatemen as the only hit of the ball game for Wareham. And he'll have a base runner to work with as Apple works the 1-out walk.
Whatever it takes. And you bring up Chris Ramirez, a guy that's already singled once, can shoot it to all sides of the field. Right-handed hitter. Obviously, the first baseman, Hovatter, is going to be holding on Foster Apple. So, chance to move a couple of base runners around. Apple has to be ready to move. Runs haven't been easy to come by for the Gatemen.
Certainly, and Ramirez had 3 of the 5 hits yesterday. Apple quickly back to the bag. Ramirez did try to steal on Reynolds in the first inning, was caught over there at second base. That was with 1 out in the inning. Hoping that he can move Apple across with his bat. First pitch, fouled off to the right side. Ramirez has been getting hot for the Gatemen. Has a hit in 4 of his last 5 trips to the plate. Looking to continue that and give Wareham some offensive momentum, something that they really haven't had since the opener in Cotuit. Grounds the ball over to the right side. Second baseman flips over to short. No throw over to first. Lichtenberger does a nice job of getting the lead runner. So Apple down on the fielder's choice, and R.J. Hamilton to the plate with 2 outs.
Nice job by Ramirez to hustle out of the box and prevent it from being 2. It was not a tailor-made double play. Softly hit to the second baseman, but still one that the middle infield for Chatham could have spun had Ramirez not worked it quickly over to first.
And Pudvar going to keep his eye on Ramirez as Chatham got Ramirez stealing in the first. Second time that he's been on base here tonight. R.J. Hamilton looking to make an impact, still looking for that first hit here on the Cape. Started in the opener against Cotuit, down in the 9-hole, went 0 for 3. And tonight 0 for 1 after he went down swinging to Pudvar. That was his first strikeout of the evening. Pitch runs in on Hamilton. He gets out of the way. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Big spot for R.J. Hamilton, 2 outs. Lincoln Garcia on deck, capable hitter. We saw it in Cotuit on Saturday.
Shoots the ball up the middle and through. Ramirez is going to stop at second, but for the first time in this ball game, Wareham has a runner into scoring position with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd.
And now even a bigger spot for Lincoln Garcia. Ramirez has the speed to score from second, 2 outs. You're running on contact, but Garcia, the designated hitter today, went down swinging, and he's had 2 strikeouts in back-to-back games. So try to put it in play, put some pressure on the Chatham defense.
And he has struck out here tonight as well to Pudvar back in the first inning. Smacks the first pitch towards the left field line, but it just tails foul. That would have scored Ramirez, and maybe Hamilton put some good wood on it, but unlucky break.
And Pudvar tests him early in this at-bat, and Garcia ready to swing and a little bit too eager to swing. Out in front of it, pulls it down the line.
First and second with 2 down. Garcia, liking what he's seeing, swings again, but this time fouls it back to the screen. No balls and 2 strikes. He's going to have to choke up on that bat and work in this AB.
Pudvar with plenty of swing and miss stuff. As we've seen today, 4 strikeouts. 2-strike count, tough spot for Garcia.
High chopper over to short. It'll be the third baseman, Frazier, flipping over to first in plenty of time. Pudvar escapes a 2-out jam here in the bottom of the 3rd, and Wareham has still not scored a run in 2026. 1-0 Chatham going to the 4th. Adam Hipsky will have you on play-by-play on the other side here on Cape League TV.
Every child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights, be prepared, and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
Back here at Spillane Field for the top of the fourth. It's Dan Shalam. I'm Adam Hipsky. The Gatemen right there trying to pick up their first win of 2026. The opposition, the Chatham Anglers, also trying to do the same. And Dan, it's the starter Logan Hastings. A slow start, 2 hits in the first inning, but since then he's worked 2 really clean frames to keep the lead at just 1 for the A's.
He's been doing a good job. He's been trying to do everything in his power to give this Gateman squad a chance, and they had a chance in that bottom of the third. Couldn't play to run, had a runner into scoring position, and it just feels like, Adam, we've been seeing the same story over and over again. You have runners on, but they cannot find the RBI.
Wareham turns its attention to the defensive side, trying to keep Chatham at an arm's length away. It's 1-0 Anglers. Hastings set to deal to the 5th hitting left-handed first baseman Harlan Hovatter, who looks at a slider that tails in at his feet, and the count's 1-0. Right side for Hastings. He's had success against Hovatter. First baseman 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in the 2nd inning. Another fastball. Actually, the first fastball, but another pitch right at the feet. The count 2 balls and no strikes.
And he's had success against the bottom of this order. 0 for 4 for Chatham, just 1 walk. So this is a place where he can find a groove.
Breaking ball outside. 3 balls and no strikes to the leadoff man, Hovatter, who led things off in the top of the 2nd. Struck out. 3-0 the count. Ace is clear. Called strike. Fastball down the middle.
Just seemed like Hastings was a little bit afraid to go in here on Hovatter, but that time goes into the zone and comes out unscathed.
3-1 is skied left side and trailing towards Wareham Middle School, out of play. And the count runs full to the leadoff man in the top of the 4th. Nice job by Logan Hastings to battle back in the count after being down 3-0, now a 3-2 count. He comes set. Brings it home. Breaking ball outside. So Hastings, after maneuvering the count full, gives up the free pass. And Hovatter is aboard to start things here in the top of the 4th.
First leadoff base runner given up by Hastings. He's been really efficient against the first batter in every inning so far, but that time he kind of reverted back to what was troubling him up in the first, going for that breaking ball, trying to get the chase and playing around the zone. The 2 pitches that he got for strikes were in the zone, and he attacked.
That was the 55th pitch of the day for Logan Hastings. One arm up in the pen for the Gatemen as the first pitch to Corbin Reynolds is swung on and lifted to deep center field. Whacks back, and he makes the catch. Heading towards the wall, and a solid lead from Hovatter. He has to sprint back to first. There's 1 down in the top of the 4th.
Nice job there in center field by Wax. He's got the sun in his eyes, takes that first step, and then tracks all the way back. Makes a nice play as he comes up almost against the wall.
Yeah, made the outfield assist yesterday when he played right field. It's the 3rd guy to start in center field in as many days for the Gatemen. R.J. Hamilton in game 1 at Katuitt. Dylan Dubovic yesterday moves over to right. Jason Wax moves from right field into center. 2 trade places. First pitch to Gabe Frazier is down and away. It skips away from Nikolai, and Hovatter easily into second. So the A's first baseman moves the easy 90 feet. And Chatham into scoring position, chance to make it a 2-0 game.
Worked out of a similar jam last inning. Had runners at 2nd and 3rd with 2 down. This time 1 at 2nd with 1 down. Interested to see how Hastings does here.
Hastings, his 58th pitch. It's cut on and missed. 72-mile-an-hour slider. Frazier comes up empty. It's Mark Brissy out in the pen. Beyond left field. As well as Ty Stark for the Gatemen. Brissy, the right-hander from Arkansas. Stark, the southpaw from Louisville. 1-1 the count right now on Gabe Frazier, and a check on second. Ramirez wasn't at the bag.
That's a balk.
And I think Hastings and Ramirez not on the same page, because when Hastings turned to go to second, there was nobody shaded towards the inside of Harlan Hovatter. So Hastings clutched it for like a split second too long, and now Ryan Smythe out of the dugout to talk things over the third base umpire, William Bowers.
And Jake Britcha, the first base umpire, was the one that originally ruled balk. So now this umpiring crew having some discussions and figuring it out.
And Hovatter stays at second.
So that call is flipped. And now the umpire's reconvening once again.
Wareham comes out on the right side of the appeal from Ryan Smythe. And now the count, 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 down in the top of the fourth. Frazier, the third baseman, trying to give Chatham some early insurance. 1-1. Fastball high, and the count now 2-1. Frazier, originally from Huntington Beach, California, worked his way to Tallahassee, Florida to play his college ball at Florida State, now up here on Cape Cod for the summer. 2-1. Fastball in at the hands. Instead, ball 4. So if we backtrack, I think it was a pitch clock violation originally on Hastings, and I think that's what gave him ball 4. And now Wareham wants to talk things over. They bring the infield in as Gatemen pitching coach Eric Luskis out of the third base dugout. Chatham leads at 1-0 in the top of the fourth. Anglers 4 hits to the Gatemen's 2. And the difference and the story, and we talked about how tough it is for teams to win when they don't score runs. The Gatemen have played 20 innings. They have yet to score a run. And instead, Logan Hastings' day is done. So we'll have a pitching change when we return. We'll take a quick step aside as Logan Hastings departs with 2 on in a 1-0 deficit right here on Cape League TV.
Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting finance.
Wareham makes its first call to the pen. It's an Alyssa Watling intuitive pitching change, and Logan Hastings' day is done. He departs with 2 on and just 1 away in the top of the fourth in a 1-0 Chatham lead. And the Gatemen and Ryan Smythe turn the left-hander Ty Stark out of Louisville.
This guy stands at 6'6", 170. Did pitch with Wareham in 2025 at 2.63 ERA and 12 appearances, but this past college season with the Cardinals, a 4.18 ERA and 21 appearances, came strictly out of the bullpen, made no starts. That in 23 2/3 innings pitched.
60 appearances across his 3 years with Louisville. This past season, he worked a 4.18 ERA across 23 2/3 innings of work. You mentioned it. He's got the experience on the Cape. He's got experience in the highest of leverage situations. Played in the College World Series with the Cardinals back in 2025. And now the Louisville, Kentucky native out here on Cape Cod for the second straight year. Enters into a sticky situation. Wareham in search of its first win in 2026. They trail 1-0. So Logan Hastings, the starter from Maryland's day is not done. Or his line is not final, rather. His day is done. The 2 runners aboard are his responsibility. First pitch from the lefty Stark. Runners on the move. Pitch outside. The throw down to second. Ramirez has to leap to corral the throw down from Cohen Naklai. And the Anglers move 2 into scoring position. They were ready to go on Ty Stark's first pitch of the evening.
Those runners were off before he even started his windup. A massive jump for both of those Angler runners, and now things become hairy. Wareham brings the infield in here, trying to prevent anything from coming home.
Brings up Tyler Lichtenberger. First pitch. He takes outer corner for a called strike, 1-1. So Frazier over to second. He walked. Ovatter to third. He also walked. A ball and a strike. Stark shakes off a couple of signs, nods in agreement with Cohen Naklai. Comes set at the belt, delivers the 1-1. Grounded right side to Hamilton. Bluffs home, goes to first, takes the easy route. And the runners stay put. There's 2 down, a huge out for Wareham. And Ty Stark, his first at-bat of 2026. It's a good one.
And that's a huge defensive play over at second base by Hamilton. He fakes the throw home, forces Ovatter to go back to third base, and then makes the easy throw to first. That's exactly how you want to play that situation defensively, and now things become a lot easier with 2 outs.
Caden Dosa, the 9th hitting left fielder from Yale. First pitch, he swings and misses. Doesn't want to go down looking this time around. At the backwards K, his first time up in the 3rd. 2-1, Chatham trying to add some run support for its starter, Oliver Pudvar. 0-1, Stark. Readies. Called strike. Well placed on the inner 3rd. And Dosa, through 2 pitches, is behind 0-2.
This would be impressive by Ty Stark here to get out of this inning with nothing coming across, especially since it was 2nd and 3rd with just 1 out.
Left-handed hitters, obviously less success against the lefty Stark, but still a sub-300 average from the righties. And on 3 pitches, Ty Stark strikes out Caden Dosa. So with 2 on, Ty Stark enters and retires back-to-back hitters to leave the Chatham lead at 1. We're through 3.5 from Spillane Field. On the other side, Wareham sends its 4, 5, 6 hitters to the plate right here on Cape League TV.
Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial.
Back here for the bottom of the fourth, Chatham leads Wareham 1-0. Alongside Dan Shalam, I'm Adam Hipsky. First pitch to Dylan Dubovic is swung on and rocked to left center field. It's got a chance, and one hops the wall. Dubovic makes the turn at second, has a chance for 3. The throw comes in late, and the relay is cut off by Cooper Neville. First pitch of the inning, Dubovic wastes no time, delivers a 2-bagger here to start the bottom of the fourth.
You and I were just talking about it in the break, Adam. Dylan Dubovic, a 276 hitter against righties, but he crushes left-handed pitching. A 400 average. He doesn't waste any time right there. Gets a huge extra base hit, and now Wareham, this is a situation where you might think about throwing down a bunt given the offensive woes, something like that. You need to score this runner here on second with no one out.
On the bright side, in steps Tony Lira, the only Wareham hitter with a hit in both of the first 2 games. First pitch, he takes outside for ball 1. Walked his first time up, but was 1 for 3 in both the opener to Katuitt and the game last night to Hyannis. Chance for Lira, left on right. The 1-0. Out straight back, 1 ball and 1 strike. Lira, the first baseman out of Arizona. We talked about it earlier. Replaced Caden McDonald yesterday, had a scheduled day off. McDonald started the game at first base, got hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. Tony Lira came in, played the rest of the game, received 3 at-bats, singled in 1 of them. 1-1 with the runner on second. Outside, ball 2. And for Pudvar, it's mostly just a 3-pitch mix to right-handed hitters. Fastball, cutter, and a changeup. Pudvar sets, deals, swing and a miss. Goes changeup on the 2-1. It's Lira to wave at it.
And that's when you want back if you are Lira. That was in the zone. He smashes the changeup against lefties. 430 hitter.
2-2. Out back. Lira underneath the fastball. Count remains level, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 6'2", redshirt sophomore out of the Big 12 with Arizona. Facing Oliver Pudvar, making his first start of the summer. 2-2. Outside, count runs full to Lira, still nobody out. First base open after the leadoff double from Dylan Dubovic.
Big pitch here.
Pay off. Pudvar comes home. Out of play. Lira stays alive, and we saw him do it yesterday. Worked deep into counts, and that was when he got his single, was after fouling off a couple of 2-strike pitches. Starting to nail down the speed, the cadence. Starter Pudvar back out for his 4th inning of work. 3-2 once again. Breaking ball, sky to right field. Parker drifts towards the line, makes the catch. Dubovic set to tag. The throw comes in all the way to third. The feet first slide. Dubovic advances 90 feet, and for the first time today, Wareham has a run just 90 feet away.
Feels like this is the first time in forever that we've heard that. They had a runner get to third yesterday. That was in the 3rd inning, but since then, no one has gotten over to third base. No one's been that close. And now the pressure is on Jason Wax to break this scoreless spell for Wareham.
And certainly feel like he's due. The center fielder committed to LSU. 0 for 8 with 3 strikeouts so far this summer. He takes ball 1. Dubovic, plenty of speed to tag. Fence playing straight up. Wax takes outside. The appeal down to William Bowers, and he says that Wax did not offer, and the count's 2-0.
Just need to lift a ball into the outfield here if you're Wax. Don't try and do too much or hit it to the right side.
2-0. Called strike. Cutter outer third. Counts 2-1. Pudvar begins his battle back into the count. 2-1. Launched left side into the netting, protecting a couple of Wareham bat boys. Pudvar delivers 2 straight strikes, and the count now even 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And this is a guy that knows how to drive in runners. 54 RBIs this past season with Tulane. That led the team.
2-2. Outside. First base open with 1 out. Certainly don't want to give Wax a pitch to hit. Just a 1-run lead for Oliver Pudvar. Pitching at least with a little bit of run support. Gatemen haven't had that luxury this season. 3-2 is swung on and skied left side, hooking foul out of play.
You can keep that foul ball courtesy of attorney Glenn Hannington, his daughter Tevin.
Nice battle. Nice fight here from Wax. Really working deep into this count.
3-2. Grounded right side. Dubovic comes home. The play's at first. It's in time, but not before. Jason Wax drives in a run. And Wareham, it took 20 innings, but the Gatemen are on the board in 2026. It's 1-1 in the bottom of the 4th.
The streak is over. Sometimes you just need to see one get across the plate. Hopefully this spurs the Wareham momentum and they start to really pile up some runs now. But the Monkeys off the back, breathe a sigh of relief. It's a tie game.
Going to Clyde, digs in, takes a first pitch fastball. Inside for ball 1. That's huge. The Gatemen are on the board. 1-0 downstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. So Oliver Pudvar, who was very strong in his first 3 innings, gave up just 1 hit. It was a leadoff one in the first to Chris Ramirez. Ball's grounded to the shortstop. A leaping throw from Neville is in time for the 3rd out of the inning. A strong throw deep in the hole from the shortstop, and that retires the side. 1 hit, and for the first time in 2026, 1 run, Dan, and no errors in the field and no runners left on base. We're through 4 at Spillane Field. Wareham and Chatham tied at 1. Ty Stark back to the mound when we return on Cape League TV.
Every child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights, be prepared, and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
Welcome back to Cape Cod TV. I'm CeCe Gabriel, and we've talked about it throughout the broadcast. Wareham outfielder Jason Wax is officially committed to LSU from Tulane. When you see like a guy like Wax, you better watch out. In the top 5 major stats for the Green Wave, he had so many between hits, OPS, RBI. And when I talked to him about why he's excited to join the program, he actually told me that it's more than just playing ball, but everything that the Tigers put into the program. From the culture of winning, to going to trips to Omaha, to being able to produce first-round picks. Now here he is with the Wareham Gatemen, and he said he's going to enjoy some seafood boil. He said he's pretty used to it back in Louisiana. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, CeCe. Chatham and Wareham tied at 1. Ty Stark back to the mound. First pitch to the leadoff man, Rhett Johnson. Batted first for Dennis Cook today, and he leads things off in the top of the 5th as he waves and misses. And now even 1 ball, 1 strike.
CeCe was just talking about Jason Wax came up for a big play, and Wareham in that bottom of the 4th finally gets a run across for the Gatemen. It took a while, Adam, but hopefully this can kickstart the offense and really get them going here in 2026.
Absolutely. And another guy that kind of gave that Gatemen dugout, or at least right now the Gatemen field, a jolt of momentum was the one on the hill right now. Ty Stark pitches outside. Kind of even 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Logan Hastings' day is done. The right-handed starter from Maryland into the transfer portal, headed to Kentucky. Gets his first start of the summer, goes 3 1/3, allows 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts as Stark delivers outside to Johnson. Hastings, 60 pitches, 41 for strikes. Commanded the zone well, and outside of a double and an RBI single in the first inning, worked very well throughout this Chatham order. Got through it twice. Now Johnson swings and sends a high chopper to the third baseman, Elam, who gloves, goes to first, strong throw in time. Nice play from Cade Elam, charging towards the line. It's into the infield grass. He delivers a throw on the run, an absolute laser for the first out of the inning.
Really nice job there of just charging the ball, getting it over to first. You know Johnson is a speedy guy, and it helps out Stark, and more importantly, this Gateman offense gets them 1 out closer to getting back into that dugout.
Brings in Connor Schaus, 2 for 2 today. We highlighted him in the Gateman pregame show. Big reason why. 5 hits already this summer. First pitch he takes inside. It's a called strike, inner third. Charlie Tashin gives the southpaw the call, and Stark works ahead through the first pitch of the at-bat. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Stark goes off speed.
That was nasty.
Jouse, bit rattled, wants to take a walk around the right-handed batter's box. Stark throws the sinker over 40% of the time, and then mixes in the fastball and the slider just as even. Goes slider there, and it's clubbed out to shallow left field. Drops in front of Foster Apple for a base hit. 1 out knock for Connor Schaus, and he's got a 3-hit day. Balls up a multi-hit day yesterday. He totaled 2, and today he's got 3 in as many at-bats.
He has been great for this Anglers team. He leads them in hits, leads them in average, and for right reason. You can't ask for much more. 3 solid base hits from him, and now gives Jacob Parker a chance to make some noise, who's also 2 for 2 coming into this at-bat.
Yeah, like you said, another guy that's been uber productive. His freshman season, got NCAA tournament experience and made the most of it. Freshman from Mississippi State. Bulldogs hosted a regional, was named most outstanding player in that Starkville regional. Advanced to the Supers. That's where Mississippi State bowed out. And the throw goes to first. Runner takes off. Throw to second. And Stark maneuvers Schaus, puts him in a pickle, and the Wareham eliminate the lone base runner on the paths. Nice play from the lefty. He's making quick work of this Chatham lineup.
Nice job there. He noticed it, immediately fired over to first to Lira. He whips it to Ramirez in plenty of time, and Wareham helping themselves out, where in previous games the defense was really hurting them. Here tonight, that has been the story. They have now caught 2 Chatham runners, and it's helped out in a big way.
Pitch outside to Parker. Talked about it earlier. Nikolai threw out a runner at second. Yesterday, cut down a runner trying to stretch a single into a double to Jason Wax from right field. So the defense has shown glimpses. Just putting it all together. 2-0. Called strike. Wareham with a run on the board for the first time this summer. Trying to keep it knotted at 1. Stark, the 2-1. Called strike. Outside corner. He goes sinker to level it at 2 apiece. Base is clear after Connor Schaus was picked off. Left on left. Stark got him at the knees. Cold strike 3. Second punch out of the day for Ty Stark. It's the first backwards K. After a 1-out single, the lefty from Louisville faces the minimum. We'll turn it to the home half when we return. 8-9-1 due up for the Gatemen here on Cape League TV.
Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP. Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A Plus Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Back here for the bottom of the fifth, Oliver Pudvar back out for the Anglers. First pitch to Katie Elam is taken downstairs for ball one. And Dan, for the first time this season, the Gatemen step to the plate with a run on the board, a chance to build off one in the bottom of the fourth.
Nice to see, finally, for them to break through, break that streak that had been haunting them. But just time to build. This is a 0-0 ball game, really. At the end of the day, they've been putting together good at-bats against Oliver Pudvar. Going to be interested to see how short the leash is on him heading into this inning, because Wareham has been seeing him well, and you got Chris Ramirez coming up in this inning who has a single off him. Foster Apple on deck with a walk. Wareham could string together something here in this fifth.
That's the 8-9-1 hitters do up a trio of righties as the 2-1 misses up and away, and the count moves to a true hitter's advantage for the third baseman from Louisville, Cade Elam. Getting to watch his college teammate Ty Stark make quick work of this Anglers lineup, and he takes outside a fastball for ball four.
And there is someone starting to get going out there in that Anglers bullpen behind the right field wall. So definitely a leash right now on Pudvar, and a chance for Wareham to take advantage of it now with what will be the third time through, starting with Chris Ramirez in a batter.
Already 70 pitches from Pudvar as he takes a check on first. Elam back with a head first dive. Pudvar not afraid to go deep into games. Through 74 and a third innings for UConn this past spring. In 2 appearances, he went all 9. 2 complete games, a 7-4 record. 3-pitch mix, 5'11" redshirt senior from UConn. Deals the 9th hitting left fielder Foster Apple. It paints the edge for a called strike. 0-2 on Apple, who walked back in the third. 6'1" sophomore, still looking for his first hit of the summer. The pitch takes outside. It's the right call.
It's a good eye there. Play off that one. Just want to try and pass the baton here. Don't try and do too much. This AB.
Elam creeps off the base at first. Pitch inside, and it rides in at the elbows and gets a piece of Apple. The second time that he's been hit by a pitch this summer, Dan.
And a real chance now for Chris Ramirez at the top of the order to knock in the second run of the summer. This is setting up to be a big inning now for Wareham. First and second, nobody out. First time that they've had this scenario so far in this game, and for that reason, Chatham mound visit on the way.
Yeah, out comes the pitching coach, Jay Powell, for the Anglers. 1-1 tie ball game, and now the lineup card turns over. So not an ideal start to the inning if you're Oliver Pudvar. You face the 8-9-1 hitters, and then you give both the 8th and 9th hitters a free pass.
and Hamilton has a single off of him today. That came in the third. So really a couple of hitters that feel comfortable right now against Oliver Pudvar, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see Chatham make a move to the bullpen here if things get a little bit more ugly after Ramirez.
Yeah, 77 pitches already from Oliver Pudvar, working deep into the count. Summer baseball, you don't really see guys go much over 75 pitches anymore, but Pudvar used to that kind of workload after the spring with the Huskies. Now trying to work out of the jam. Still no outs. Corners of the infield come in, facing the leadoff man, Chris Ramirez. 1 for 2 today, reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. Big hole on the right side of the infield. He takes outside for ball 1. Plenty of speed on the base paths for Cade Elam and Foster Apple. 1-0. Ramirez looks at ball 2.
Things get a little bit more interesting now. If you are Wareham, the corners are tucked in for Chatham. They want the double play. And Ramirez is a guy that can shoot a contact single anywhere on the infield.
80th pitch of the day on the way from Oliver Pudvar. And it swung on and lifted foul right side. Past the grandstands for strike 1.
Ramirez just spoiling that one. Clearly saw something that he liked. Didn't get it cleanly, but another chance here in a 2-1 count.
Elam off the bag at first. Apple moves towards second. The 2-1 is popped up. Shallow right field. Parker drifts in. It drops in front for a base hit. Elam had to hold to make sure it got down. So everyone just moves station to station, but the bases are loaded for R.J. Hamilton in the bottom of the 5th.
And here we go. You talk about the Wareham offense coming alive. This is the time, and now a Chatham call to the bullpen. Oliver Pudvar coming out of this game.
Dennis Cook out of the first base dugout, and Oliver Pudvar's day is done. He departs in a 1-1 game. But for the Anglers, they're trying to hold on because Wareham is threatening. We'll take a quick step aside here on Cape League TV.
Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kieran and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kieran and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kieran and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting finance.
Bottom of the 5th for the Chatham Anglers pitching staff. It's the first call to the pen, and it's an Alyssa Watling intuitive pitching change. Oliver Pudvar's day is done. He departs with the bases loaded. 3 are his responsibility, and Dennis Cook makes the move, and it's Gavin DeVote, the right-hander from Michigan.
Goes to the Wolverine. 25 appearances, no starts, strictly out of the bullpen. Used to pitching in the high leverage. 2 for 3 with 9 saves. Just below a sub-5 ERA in 40 innings pitched, a .260 batting average against, and he's going to look to try and limit the damage here in what is his first appearance of the summer for Chatham.
An incredibly tough spot for DeVote to come into with the bases loaded and no outs. devote a 5-pitch mix. Fastball that sits low 90s, 89 to 93 mile an hour four-seamer that he uses about 25% of the time. A sinker, a cutter, a slider, and a changeup. So plenty of options at his disposal for the right-hander who was, like you mentioned, Dan, big-time reliever for the Wolverines. Just missed out on the NCAA tournament, but has been an integral part for Tracy Smith's bullpen out in Ann Arbor. Set to deal to R.J. Hamilton, the second baseman that's 1 for 2 today. Singled against Pudvar, facing a reliever for the first time today. First pitch, takes outside, it's ball 1. DeVoe loves the slider to right-handed hitters. Throws it 50% of the time to righties. 1-0 count. Corner of the infield in, middle at double play depth. The 1-0 misses down and in. Hamilton takes 2 balls, no strikes, bottom of the 5th, and the Gatemen have a chance to lead for the first time this summer.
Doing a great job, staying disciplined, not swinging at some of the stuff out of the zone, and staying disciplined.
2-0. DeVoe shakes off a couple of signs from the catcher, Corbin Reynolds. 2-0 comes home. Hamilton takes. He doesn't like it. You saw it. Immediately started shaking his head no. And plate umpire Charlie Tashin agrees. It's 3 balls, no strikes. Nowhere to place Hamilton in a 1-1 game in the bottom of the 5th. DeVoe out of the pen. His first batter delivers a strike. And a much-needed one because anywhere outside of the zone would have given Chatham its first deficit and Wareham its first lead.
And only 23 walks this past season for DeVoe as well, trying to avoid one here in his first appearance.
3-1, still a hitter's advantage. Hamilton waves and misses. Wanted to attack the fastball, and instead DeVoe works the count full after being behind 3 balls and no strikes.
Hamilton, 41 RBIs this past season for Duke. That was a career high for him. He's used to hitting in these scenarios.
3-2, nobody out. Bases loaded. The pitch inside, ball 4. Cade Elam trots in from third, and Wareham takes the lead for the first time this summer. 2-1 Gatemen after a base on balls. Nice job from Hamilton. Gets ahead in the count. DeVoe tries to battle back, but it's too little, too late. Gatemen lead it 2-1, and the bases are still loaded, and still nobody out.
That's the good news. You got the hard-hitting Lincoln Garcia. Nobody out. A chance to really swing free and bring some runners home.
Right on right, Garcia swings and grounds it to the second baseman, Lichtenberger. Goes to second for 1. They spin a double play, but Apple comes in to score. And the Gatemen had their lead. It's 3-1.
Not ideal there if you are Garcia. The good news is you still bring a runner home. 2-run lead now for the Gatemen. And Dylan Dubovic, who had that double that scored the first run of the season for the Gatemen in the 4th, comes to the plate.
Ramirez still on third. So Hamilton off the base paths, but Ramirez 90 feet away if Dubovic can deliver a base hit. First pitch, he swings and misses. Dubovic, we talked about it, he loves left-handed pitchers, and Oliver Pudvar was the southpaw, but in out of the bullpen, DeVoe. The 0-1. Takes outside, ball 1.
Chatham dugout not happy with that one. They thought it was a strike there on the outside part of the plate.
A ball and a strike in the bottom of the 5th. Gatemen with 2 already in this 5th inning. 1-1. Grounded right side through the hole for a base hit. Ramirez comes in to score. Dubovic has 2 hits, his first RBI of the summer, and Wareham extends its lead to 3. It's 4-1 Gatemen in the bottom of the 5th.
That's a great job of situational hitting right there. if you're Dylan Dubovic. Don't try and do too much with it. Just slap it through the right side, bring home Ramirez, and now the Gatemen have a real lead in this one. High fives from the dugout. Everyone's excited. They've been waiting for this one for a long time, and it's nice to see the offense finally coming alive for the Gatemen. We knew they had the potential for it. It was just a matter of time.
Now, we mentioned it, hitting's contagious. Well, Gatemen, seems like this order has certainly caught it now. First pitch to Tony Lira, down and in, ball one. Lira, the only Gateman with a hit in both games, but he's hitless so far in his first two at-bats. Right on right the matchup with two down. Infield back, playing him straight up. Pitch on the bottom rail, clips the zone for a called strike. 1-1 to Lira. What a day from Dylan Dubovic. Attacks a first pitch fastball against Oliver Pudvar and drills it for a double. And an RBI single in the following inning. Now tries to take second. Pitch gets past Reynolds. Takes a headfirst dive into second. Didn't need to. No throw from the backstop.
Dylan Dubovic doing it all in this game. Hitting, grabbing an extra bag right there, putting a runner into scoring position. And now if you're Tony Lira, same exact situation that Dubovic just had. Runner into scoring position. 2 outs. There's a big hole there between first and second. Slap it through there, and the Gatemen will have a 4-run lead.
2-1 the count. Pitch, grounded foul right side. I think he heard you, Dan.
He tried to do it.
Tried to shoot it opposite field, but the count levels 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lira late on the pitch, and Dubovic back to third. 2 outs. The right fielder's on the move on contact. Jason Wax on deck at an RBI his last time up. 2-2. Swing and a miss. DeVote gets Lira to chase, but not before the Gatemen get a lead and pad it. 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th. All right, we're through 5 from Spillane Field. Ty Stark back to work when we return on Cape League TV.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy. Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation. Huge slides, a not-so-lazy river, and more ways to cool off than you can count. Plan ahead and save. Tickets as low as $39.95. Rally your crew and lock in your date.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420. Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry.
Welcome back here in the top of the 6th, and Ty Stark back to the mound, and with Dan Shalam, I'm Adam Hipsky, and Dan, he has been spectacular out of relief for the Gatemen.
Did a great job, got out of a jam. In the 4th inning, there was runners at second and third with 1 out. He closes the door and then faces the minimum. In the 5th, gets a little bit of help from his defense, but if you're Wareham right now and if you're Ty Stark, just keep doing what you're doing and get those bats back into the dugout. They are hitting. They are seeing the ball well. There's 4 runs on the board, and you can see the light at the end of the tunnel right now if you're Wareham.
Middle of the order, due up for the Anglers, 4, 5, 6. It's Cooper Neville, Harlan Hovatter, and Corbin Reynolds. Lefty, lefty, righty, and it starts with the shortstop Neville, who bats 4th today, but he's 0 for 2 with a pair of punch-outs. Left on left, Stark's first pitch. Whew. Looks good right there.
That's what you love to see if you're Ty Stark.
Freezes Neville, gets ahead in the count, 0-1. Stark 21 pitches, 15 for strikes. 0-1. Swing and a miss, gets him to wave outside of the zone.
Toying with Neville right now.
Continues to tail away from that left-handed batter's box perspective. Works in front of the plate. Sweeps across the zone. 2-2. 0-2. Called strike 3. Ty Stark sits down Cooper Neville on 3 pitches, and Neville has his 3rd strikeout of the day as he takes the dejected walk back to the first base dugout.
Silver sombrero for Neville, and a beautiful job there by Ty Stark. Slow, fast. He sped him up on the last one, and Neville wasn't expecting it. Back-to-back strikeouts now for Ty Stark.
Yeah, middle from Stark, and Neville just was never comfortable. Brings up Harlan Hovatter, 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk, and he takes pitch outside for ball 1. Stark liked the pitch. Charlie Tashin, our home plate umpire tonight, did not. Wareham leading 4-1 over Chatham. Both teams 0-2 to start the season. 1-0. Woo, gets Hovatter at the top of the zone. Works his way across the plate, offers at it, but not a comfortable swing.
It certainly looked out of sorts right there on that one.
Stark starting to cruise. 1-1 the count. He comes set and brings it home. Popped left side, curling out of play over the netting. Elam gives it a look over at third base and watches it fall to the roof of Wareham Middle. Stark ahead in the count, 1-2 to Hovatter. The first baseman out of the transfer portal, set to head to Mississippi State. 2 for 9 with 5 strikeouts so far this summer. 1-2. Stays alive, fouls it back, fights off a 2-strike pitch. Stark tried to go up in the zone, and Hovatter stays alive.
And there is a couple of arms right now moving in that Wareham bullpen, but no reason to really touch that right now with the way that Ty Stark's pitching.
1-2. Outside, Stark trying to get Hovatter to wave out of the zone. Threw a similar pitch to Neville in the previous at-bat, but started much more inside, middle, and worked away to the right-handed batter's box. That time it was outside and then continued to work away. 2-2 inside. Spikes and kicks away from the backstop Nikolai, but nobody on. No threat looming from Chatham, so Stark gets a new ball from Charlie Tashin, and the two set to do battle in a full count. 3-2. Just outside. Stark wanted strike 3, didn't get it, and a free pass. First walk of the day from Ty Stark.
Just trying to do a little bit too much on that one. He misses with the breaking ball. Outside, and the 3 pitches that he got Hovatter to swing on or look at were at the top of the zone, and they were fastballs. So just tried to get a little bit too fancy there.
In steps the catcher, Corbin Reynolds, freshman out of Vanderbilt. Left on right. Hero holding on. Hovatter at first. Pitch from Stark is in the zone for a called strike. 30 pitches so far from the lefty in his 2026 Cape League debut, back in Wareham for a second straight season. The 0-1. Breaking ball, called strike, and first right-handed hitter of the inning that Stark has faced, but looks comfortable against Corbin Reynolds right now.
That breaking ball, middle low in the zone, has been his bread and butter.
0-2 the count with a runner on first and 1 away. The pitch back to the slider. This time it misses outside, and the count 1-2. Here at Spillane Field for the second time in as many nights. Wareham opened the season with a loss at Catuit. Was blanked once again last night in the home opener to Hyannis 5-0. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Ty Stark has his second punch out of the inning and his 4th of the day. There's 2 away in the top of the 6th.
He's just doing a nice job dealing right now, knowing his strengths, attacks again at the bottom of the zone, gets the swing and the miss, makes this manageable, working around the 1-out walk right now, and has to face Gabe Frazier.
Frazier, the 7th hitting third baseman, strides in the left side. 0 for 1 with a fly out and a walk. Stepped in last time with a runner on first. Looks at a first pitch cutter outside for ball 1. Hovatter on first. Back-to-back walks from the first baseman. Reynolds with the fly out his last time up, and he swings and fouls the 1-0 offering to even the count at 1-1.
Nice job by Stark. Once again, battling. He throws the first pitch away, comes back inside now, top of the zone, and on these lefties, he's been pounding the zone. That's what's been working. It hasn't been outside of the zone. He's been locked in.
1-1. Stark comes home. Down low, it grazes the dirt, but Nikolai gets down and blocks it, prevents Hovatter from taking the extra base. Stark, 12 appearances, went 13 innings last summer with Wareham. And today, getting deep into this relief outing, he's already gone 2 1/3. 1-1 and a check on first. Hovatter back safely, and a balk called from our first base umpire, Jake Britcha.
Not what you want there if you're Ty Stark. Have been managing this inning, and really the entire time he's been in the game so well. But it doesn't really change that much. He's at second compared to first. There's still 2 outs on the board, and Ty Stark still going after Gabe Frazier.
A ball to strike the count. Stark nods to Nikolai. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Another strike, and the count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And this would be a big one to get this punch out here and keep stringing together these zeros. Wareham hasn't let up a run since the first inning.
Stark comes set with a runner on second, trying to strand him right there. The pitch. Just outside, and it skips past the glove of Nikolai. The opportunity there for Chatham. Count runs full, but a runner over to third is Hovatter.
That's 180 feet now that have been gifted to free, gifted free to Hovatter. And once again, though, still a full count. Not much changes here if you're Ty Stark.
Stark trying to make Frazier earn it. And a full count with first base open. Swing and a miss. Ty Stark gets his 5th strikeout of the day. Chatham tries to claw back into a 3-run game, and they strand a run 90 feet away. Stark works around the traffic and keeps the lead at 3. It's 4-1 through 5.5 from Spillane Field. We'll be back on the other side here on Cape League TV.
Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting finance.
Back here at Spillane Field for the bottom of the 6th, and Wareham has a 4-1 lead with Dan Shalam. I'm Adam Hipsky, and Dan, It's a rarity for the Gatemen after their first 2 opportunities in 2026. A couple of 5-0 losses to Catuit and Hyannis. But today, feels like the Gatemen are starting to find their groove.
You really hope that they can finish this thing out, leading by 3. The strikeouts have been down. The walk rate is up, and the hits and the runs, most importantly, are there. This Wareham team is living up to the potential that we all kind of build them to be at right now. And 3 innings, 9 outs left to go. Would love some more insurance here if you're Wareham in the bottom of the 6th.
From the left-handed batter's box, the guy that opened the scoring for the Gatemen in this 2026 Cape League season, it's Jason Wax. Last time up, an RBI ground out. Gave Wareham its first run. Came in the 4th inning of the 3rd game, but better late than never, Dan, and the Gatemen have a 4-1 lead facing the reliever Gavin DeVoe. The relief pitcher from Michigan back out the first clean inning and delivers a 1-1 strike, and the count now 1-2. So Oliver Pudvar's day is done after leaving the bases loaded for Gavin DeVoe. Goes 4 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, all 4 earned, 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. 1-2 is downstairs to Wax, evens the count at 2 apiece.
So nothing ends up on DeVoe. Did as good as possible with the bases loaded and nobody out. Didn't inflict any more harm onto Chatham than what Pudvar left on the base paths.
2-2, chopped foul. Stays right there at home plate. Wax fights off 1-2 strike pitch. Tries to do it again here in a 2-2 count with nobody on and nobody out. DeVoe, a local kid from Michigan. It's about 35 miles northeast of Ann Arbor. 2-2, called strike 3. Rings up Wax. He's down looking for the first time today, but it's his 2nd punch out of the game, 4th of the season for the center fielder.
He still has the biggest RBI of the day for the Gatemen, and that was the RBI ground out over to second base that scored the first run of the game.
Back to work for Gavin DeVoe after breaking out 2 consecutive batters. Got Lira to swing to end the 5th. Wax to look to start the inning. First pitch to Cohen Nicolai is outside for ball 1. DeVoe committed one of those cardinal sins if you're a Michigan native. Started his collegiate career at Ohio State. Obviously the well-documented rivalry between the Wolverines and Buckeyes, but works his way back to his native state up in the Mitten. Goes to Michigan. Wolverines closer for most of the season, but didn't get a full season in his first year in Ann Arbor. Pitched just 15 2/3. Cut short by an injury, but bounced back as a junior, made 25 appearances, got 9 saves, 36 strikeouts across that 2026 spring, 40 innings of work. 2-1 right now to Nicolai, and it misses down and in for ball 3.
Two groundouts in this game for Nicolai. Still looking for that first pinch hit yesterday in the 9th inning, making his first start today.
2 groundouts for the catcher, and he unloads on a 3-1 count, deep left field. It's gone. Over the Wareham bullpen, and Cohen Nicolai leaves the yard to give Wareham a 5-1 lead. Cue the lights. The Gatemen have a big fly for the first time in 2026.
I think he heard you and I talking about his 2 groundouts and searching for that first hit, and he makes a big impact with that hit. Smashes one to deep left field. That went beyond the bullpens in deep left, and what a shot there for Cohen Nicolai, making an impact in his first game with the Gatemen. First home run we've seen this year for Wareham as well.
Rocketed off the bat. Nicolai got all of it. Deep left field. Gateman bullpen looks up, watches it fly. That's got to be a jolt of momentum for Katie Lum, who steps in. The 8th hitting third baseman out of Louisville with the bases clear, but Wareham leads it by 4 now. It's 5-1. Pitch from DeVote. Swung on and line foul right side.
And that Wareham bullpen, more than happy to see that ball fly right over their heads. That gives them a nice piece of insurance. Now a 4-run lead to work with. Just 9 outs to go for Wareham if they want to get their first win.
That's a rarity from DeVote. In 40 innings this spring for Michigan, just 3 home runs allowed. 0-2 outside, and Elam tries to fight his way back into the count. It's 1-2.
And the struggles continue for Chatham now. They have only scored 4 runs across their first 3 games. They're on the verge of going 0-3.
1-2 is popped up in the infield, left side. The shortstop Neville drifts over in front of the second base bag and retires Kate Elam. 2 down, bottom of the 6th. After Cohen Nicolai's solo shot, first home run of the season for the Gatemen. 9th hitting, Foster Apple steps in. Takes his place in the right-handed batter's box for the 3rd time today. Yet to record an at-bat, though, was walked in the 3rd and hit by an offering in the 5th. Stares at strike 1, outside corner.
And that home run for Nicolai, his first of the Cape season. He had 5 this past season with Arizona State.
Right on right, the pitch, outside. Nicolai just absolutely clobbered it. Waited for the opportunity. Pounced when DeVote gave him a pitch that he liked. Wareham now with a 5-1 lead. 1-1. Well-placed pitch. Slider bends in at the knees. 1-2 the count. Apple, that open stance. Right-handed batter's box. Swings and misses, and DeVote ends the inning. So a solo shot with 1 away is all the damage that DeVote allows in his first clean inning of work out of the pen for Chatham. It's Wareham 5 and Chatham 1 through 6 from Spillane Field. When we return, bottom of the order due up for the Anglers right here on Cape League TV.
Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A+ Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit Reed Custom Soils.
5-1 lead for the Gatemen here at Spillane Field after Cohen Nicolai sends one long, deep, and gone into left field for the Gatemen in the bottom of the 6th. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. as we have an Alyssa Watling intuitive call to the bullpen here in the top of the 7th for the Gatemen after a strong 2 2/3 for Ty Stark. The Gatemen go to Mark Brissy here in the 7th.
6'3", 215-pound right-hand sophomore out of Arkansas. Originally from Arkansas, Batesville, played at Fayetteville High School, stayed local to play his college baseball at Arkansas, just completed his freshman year, made 14 appearances, 1 start, so primarily a reliever, collected 1 save in his 16 1/3 innings of work, an 8.27 ERA for the righty that throws a fastball about 2/3 of the time and mixes in a slider and a sinker as well as his 2 secondary pitches. But what an opportunity for the righty to make his first appearance on the Cape. Chance to continue to make this Wareham lead what it is, 4 runs.
It'll be 8, 9, and 1 here for the Anglers in the top of the 7th. It starts with Tyler Lichtenberger. First pitch misses down low. And Adam, how about an outing here? Really helped out the Gatemen from Ty Stark. He only allows 1 hit, 5 Ks, 2 2/3. Just brilliant stuff from him.
Yeah, absolutely. And back-to-back days for Wareham where the starting pitcher wasn't what they really wanted it to be. Wade Walton just goes 3 yesterday. Logan Hastings gives them 3 1/3 today, but Ty Stark comes in. Not to say that the Gatemen pitching staff was bleeding, but kind of stopped the bleeding right there. A ton of stability from Ty Stark. Just 1 hit, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. It's a Gatemen defense that we've yet to see if it's really their strong suit, but didn't have to give them a ton of pressure because Ty Stark worked quickly through the Anglers' order.
Brissy's 2-0. Bounced in the dirt. Still has not thrown a strike. 3 balls to start his first outing here in the summer of 2026. And for Lichtenberger, 0 for 2 so far. A fly out into center field. A ground out over to second base as Chatham tries to climb back into this game. They scored just 1 run in a 5-1 loss against Bourne to open things up, and then 8-2 defeat to Katuitt yesterday. So Chatham has not scored more than 2 runs in any game so far this season. And, of course, Wareham had the ugly no runs in 2 games, but they've put up a 5 spot here today at Spillane Field. This ball is popped over to the left side, foul. And it would really mean a lot for the Gatemen to get that first win, see one go through the hoop, be 1-2 heading into a road trip tomorrow at Brewster, especially given how slow they started the season off with just no runs over the first 2 games.
Yeah, both things can be true, Dan. It can be a long summer and 2 games don't make or break your season, but it's also a sprint. Only a 40-game season here on the Cape. So every game important, and when you drop the first 2, you kind of fall into danger zone in the West Division, and it's a West Division where Wareham's the only team yet to pick up a win. So, and we know the playoff positioning, got to be top 4 in the division, so plenty of baseball left to be played. But getting off to an 0-3 start, not ideal for any team, and in a 40-game season, even more so the case.
Well, do remember also last year Wareham did start 0-3, and they ended up finishing second in the league at 20-20 before falling in the first round to Katuitt. So they know how to be in this position. They've been here before. Caden Dosa, the left fielder at the dish, takes a first pitch strike. 2 strikeouts on the evening for him. And it's Brissy struggling with control here out of the gate. He's been bouncing a couple of pitches into the dirt, looking to find his footing here against the 9-hole hitter for the Anglers.
Kind of a rarity. Throws a first pitch over half the time, about 55% in his spring season with Arkansas. So command, not something that you typically see, but when he dials up that fastball 2/3 of the time, it's a chance to kind of work on his other pitches, try and landing them for strikes.
1-1, cut on and miss by Dosa. He's usually the leadoff man for his collegiate team, Yale. He likes playing scrappy, according to him, and he loves being in that top position because once he gets on base, he loves to steal bags. 28 this season, just one of 15 Ivy League players to do so, and trying to start some momentum here for Chatham in the 7th. And Brissy, having more trouble finding the zone, pushes the count to 2-2. Chatham has not scored since the first inning of this game. Plated their only run off what was a double from Connor Schaus. He came around to score, and it's a good start, a good bounce back for Mark Brissy. He gets Dosa swinging for out number 1 here in the 7th.
Yeah, 3 strikeouts for Caden Dosa in as many trips to the dish, and not ideal for your 9th hitter. Regardless, obviously Dennis Cook put him there today, but you just said it. He hits leadoff for Yale. He's certainly capable of batting at the top of this lineup, but that's what you see in the Cape League, guys that hit leadoff, hit at the bottom, and trying to opt for that double leadoff spot.
This pitch bounces off the top of the glove of Nikolai. Moving over to second base is Lichtenberger, so now a runner into scoring position here for Chatham in the 7th.
Yeah, but from your leadoff guy, when Dennis Cook looks at building this lineup 1 through 9, you think of Dosa at the 9 spot and Rhett Johnson, the one that's up now, as your 2 guys that are contact hitters and get on base, but Johnson has really struggled 0 for 3 today, all ground outs.
Both of those guys struggling at the dish, but in the head of Chatham, maybe that's kind of a second leadoff hitter, stacking Dosa there in the 9 hole, and then having Johnson in that 1 spot. 1 ball, 1 strike here to the Chatham leadoff. 3 ground outs today for him, all on the infield. Couple over to third, 1 back to the pitcher. Brissy misses up high. Likes to use the fastball around 66% of the time, and opts for the slider and the sinker at just around 15% respectively. Battling against Johnson here in a 2 ball, 1 strike count. Pitch catches the top of the zone, and it's 2-2. This Wareham bullpen has been money up to this point. Back-to-back games for them now where they have not allowed a run.
Well, yeah, and Wade Walton, after giving up 5 runs in the first inning, the Gatemen went on to toss 8 scoreless innings, and 6 came from the bullpen. So it was a combination of arms. 3 guys were relievers yesterday for Wareham, and today, Ty Stark, can't say it enough. A great performance here in his 2026 debut on the Cape.
This ball's bounced in front of the plate. Brissy's going to have a full count to work with against Rhett Johnson, the 5'9", 170-pound sophomore from NC State, from Youngsville, North Carolina, just 25 miles north of Raleigh, so was close to home and was a second-team freshman All-American, second-team All-ACC. And he takes the pitch down low, works a walk, a little bit of trouble now for Brissy to work around first and second with 1 down. Both the runners in this inning have reached base by way of the walk.
Brissy just has to come in, pound the zone, make these Chatham hitters earn it. Outside of this guy,
not someone you want to be facing, and immediately a mound visit coming here for Wareham.
Fair enough. Connor Schaus, you don't want to give him anything to hit, but no base open with runners on first and second. So the double his first time up and started the scoring for Chatham against Logan Hastings, the starter. And that's just what Eric Luskus wants to bring everyone in, start to talk things over. What can we do? What can we give him? What can't we give him? How do we want to play? Middle of the infield. In a position we saw Chatham put on a double steal earlier today. Not something that they'll shy away from. Plenty of speed with Lichtenberger and Johnson on the base paths. So all things that the Gatemen have to feel comfortable with their 4-run lead. Can't get complacent.
Connor Schaus was at Texas Tech this past season, a teammate of Lincoln Garcia of the Gatemen, who's the designated hitter tonight. Both the DH for their respective sides tonight. Brissy's got to work out of a jam with 2 on and 1 down. First pitch Blown over to the right side, just gets over the head of Lira into right field. Coming around third is Lichtenberger. There will be no throw home. Going over to third is Johnson, and he's in there safely. Moving up to second on the play was Schaus. The ball goes out of play, so now coming in to score will be Johnson. Going over to third is Schaus. A disastrous play for Wareham, and it's 5-3.
Yeah, that's a frustrating one, Dan, because we saw some defensive miscues come back to haunt the Gatemen late in the evening against Katuitt, and now a similar spiral there. Not ideal whatsoever. Kate Elam had no chance over at third, so now a 5-3 game in the tying run at the plate.
Schaus gets over to third on the error from Dubovic out there in right field. Jacob Parker at the plate, 2 for 3 tonight. Just the man that Chatham wants up. And once again, Connor Schaus delivers a 4 for 4 evening for him.
Yeah, absolutely spectacular. And we had him circled, highlighted, italicized. We had it all for Connor Schaus, and has still exceeded expectations today.
We said the defense had been clean first error of the game for the Gatemen here. So make that 3 straight games to start the season with an error for Wareham. 2-ball, 1-strike count to Parker as Brissy is just trying to limit the damage. It had been 5 zeros in a row for Wareham, still allowing 2 here in this inning and trying to leave it there. But Brissy missing the zone down low, and the count goes to 3-1. He struggled with his control. He's had a lot of 3-ball counts in what is his first appearance here on Cape Cod in 2026. Brissy fires. Misses outside. And that is the 3rd free pass issued this inning from Mark Brissy. Runners at the corners with 1 down.
Yeah, not great. Tying run on base now. Wareham built a comfortable 4-run pad. But now Ryan Smythe has to start to think about giving Mark Brissy a shorter day than what he wanted.
Some good news here for Wareham, though. It is Cooper Neville, the shortstop, at the plate, and he has struck out 3 times today. So maybe someone that can help Wareham get out of this inning. The first pitch to Neville misses at the bottom of the zone for ball 1.
Aiden Kitchings up and throwing in the bullpen for Wareham. Has not made an appearance this summer, just arrived a couple of days ago.
Brissy sets and deals. Pitch is fouled straight back to the screen, 1-1. Felt like Wareham had this game in cruise control. Came into this inning up 5-1, coming off a big blast from Cohen to Cly, but that has gone to waste, and now it's only a 2-run lead for the Gatemen. Chatham with the tying and go-ahead run at the plate. And Brissy did not find the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike. Neville had an RBI for Chatham a couple of games ago. Looking for RBI number 2 to make this a 1-run game. He chops the ball over to the right side. Lira's going to field it, throw over to second. So they get the runner over at second base, but a run comes in to score. It's a productive second out for the Anglers, and it's a 5-4 game.
Absolutely. Cut down the runner going to second. Nice job by Lira to not try and turn and force something that might not have been there. Takes the smart route and goes to second. But still not the inning that you want if you're Wareham, but if you can escape still with the lead and don't allow Chatham to tie it up. Turn it to a new arm in the 8th. Give the Gatemen some wiggle room.
Going over to second is Neville. No throw down from Nikolai. That's a stolen base for Cooper Neville, and the tying run is into scoring position here with 2 down for Chatham. Arlen Hovatter at the dish. 0 for 1 today, couple of walks his last 2 trips to the plate. Looking to come up in a big way here for the Anglers, get them right back into this game. It's been a 3-run top of the 7th, and they're hoping it can be 4 to tie up this game at 5. Hovatter does not have an RBI so far this season for Chatham. Big cut and a miss. 4 strike 2, and Brissy now a chance to get out of this inning.
Wareham has really pitched around Hovatter today. It's a guy that strikes out at a high rate. He's been retired 9 times, 5 on strikeouts.
Neville on the move once again, and he gets over to third without a throw. That's 2 stolen bases for Cooper Neville. And now the tying run stands just 90 feet away and a 2-2 count with 2 down.
Hopefully the Gatemen are feeling comfortable about retiring Hovatter right here, right now.
Brissy toes the slab, fires, misses in the righty batter's box, and the count goes full. Corbin Reynolds, the catcher, is on deck, 0 for 2. Brissy just wants to get out of this inning. He's walked 3 batters already, hoping to avoid a 4th. The payoff pitch. Chopped over to the right side. Hamilton fields cleanly, throws to first, and Wareham limits the damage. It's 3 runs across for Chatham here in the top of the 7th, but the most important thing is that they don't get the 4th. It's still a 5-4 Wareham lead as it's time to stretch here at Spillane Field. You're listening and watching Wareham Gatemen Baseball on Cape League TV.
Every child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights, be prepared, and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
Welcome back to Cape Cod TV. I'm CeCe Gabriel, and for a second season leading the Chatham Anglers as manager is former MLB player Dennis Cook. Cook was a relief pitcher across 15 years for 9 different teams and was a World Series champion in 1997 for the Florida Marlins. This year, as his second year as manager, he said he's trying something different for better results, more speed, older pitchers early on to get hopefully a chance to get into the playoffs this season. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, CeCe. Always great to hear about the opposing team. In this case, the Chatham Anglers, who just played at 3 runs in that top half of the 7th to make this a 5-4 ball game. Chris Ramirez at the plate, top of the order for Wareham here in the bottom of the 7th as they look to pad the lead, and Ramirez tattoos a ball into center field. That one dunks in. It's a leadoff single for Chris Ramirez, his 3rd single of the day. Make that back-to-back games for Ramirez with 3 base knocks.
Yeah, big time from Chris Ramirez, 3 for 4 yesterday. Had a hitless day in the season opener at Cotuit, but we kind of felt like that might not be the norm. Back-to-back 3-hit games for the shortstop, and for all of the college coaches that have a close eye on this kid, and you have to imagine there's plenty of them, in the transfer portal from Cal Baptist, up for shortstop of the year, and kind of see why. What he's done so far these last 2 nights, can hit to all sides of the field, can hit in 2 strike counts, doesn't strike out a ton, and right there delivers a base knock to open things up in the bottom of the 7th.
Won the Defensive Player of the Year award last year, and did it again this year. He thought one wasn't good enough, so he added in another. He's a magician in the field and a pure contact bat with some pop at the dish. And a beautiful job right there of setting up R.J. Hamilton, who has a single in this game as well. That came back in the third, 1 for 2 on the evening. And we just saw a mound visit from Chatham with their players, and now another mound visit for the Anglers right here. Seems like Dennis Cook coming out, giving some extra time for whatever reliever is coming out of the bullpen to warm up. It's a pitching change for Chatham here in the bottom of the 7th after the leadoff single to Chris Ramirez. We'll tell you all about who's coming onto the bump when we come back here on Cape League TV.
Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A Plus Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Alyssa Watling, intuitive, called to the bullpen here for Chatham in the top half of the 7th. After letting up the leadoff single to Chris Ramirez, Gavin DeVote is pulled from this game, and it's the lefty Josh Schwink in for Chatham.
Yeah, someone that Dennis Cook is familiar with, the only returning player from Chatham's 2026 opening day roster, or from 2025 rather, that was on the 2026 opening day roster. 6'2", 195-pound left-hander, a 4-pitch mix, but really mostly 3 pitches, sinker, cutter, and a slider. That sinker sits in the low 90s, can touch 92, cutter in the mid-80s, and a slider in the high 70s can dance around the low 80s as well. In his junior season at Liberty, the 21-year-old made 21 appearances, a 4.15 ERA, and 56 1/3 innings of work, 60 strikeouts, and just 24 walks, and a .257 opposing batting average. Went along with a 3-3 record, made 3 saves, can do it kind of all for Dennis Cook's staff.
And trying to hold this game where it's at. It's a 5-4 lead for Wareham. Chris Ramirez with the leadoff single to start off this inning, his 3rd base knock of the day, and you just saw him a couple moments ago. R.J. Hamilton trying to string together a couple of hits here for Wareham and create some more breathing room that they did have heading into that 7th inning, but then allowed 3 runs. Hamilton cuts at a pitch high and away for strike 1.
Nice job from Gavin DeVote for the most part. Obviously came into a nearly impossible situation, relieving the starter Oliver Pudvar. Came in with the bases loaded and no outs, got out of it. Obviously Chatham was down by much more than what they are right now, just a 1-run deficit, but with plenty of pressure on his shoulders with the Anglers off to an 0-2 start.
And Swink, a high-leverage guy. You mentioned that he pitched for Chatham last season. He was one of 4 Chatham players named a Cape League All-Star, and he won Chatham's Ed Bard Award for Most Outstanding Pitcher, and he won that because he pitched to a 2.63 ERA over 24 innings in 10 appearances. So clearly, Chatham going to their most experienced arm with the Anglers in this high leverage spot where they're trying to keep this game in striking distance.
Now, familiarity is a big thing for Dennis Cook. He knows what he has in Josh Swink and likes him in this position in the 7th inning.
2-ball, 2-strike count. Ramirez over at first base. Has been dancing off of that first base bag, but was caught stealing all the way back in the first by Reynolds. So see how aggressive he is over there. As Swink comes set for the 2-2. Pitch is flown out into center field. Johnson going back on it, makes the play. Ramirez stepped on the bag for a second. He'll hold over at first. That ball was deep into center field, but not deep enough for a tag. So with one down, here in the bottom of the 7th, Lincoln Garcia steps to the plate.
It could have been disastrous right there from Rhett Johnson. Had to twist and finally squared up to the ball, got a read on it. Drifted towards right center, made the play, but R.J. Hamilton attacked. A decent contact, but can't drop it for a base hit.
Certainly not. And the designated hitter at the dish, 0 for 3 today, takes a pitch inside. He was at the dish when there were the bases loaded, and nobody out in that 5th inning, grounded into a 4-6-3 double play. A run did score on that, and that run right now proving to be pivotal with Wareham up by just a singular run. Check over on Ramirez, nothing happening. Wareham hosting Chatham tonight, a trip to Brewster on deck tomorrow before an off day Wednesday, and the Gatemen will resume things here at Spillane Field against the YD Red Sox on Thursday. Throw down to second as Ramirez was going there, trickles into the outfield. Ramirez is going over to third. Here's the throw from center field. It's not in time, and it trickles against the Gatemen dugout on the third base side. It stays in play, but there it is. Ramirez moving up 180 feet.
Ramirez quick to his feet, slid into second base, realized the positioning that the middle infielders and the center fielder Rhett Johnson were in, and he felt confident that he could take that extra base. You see him up to his 10 toes, gets over to third. Nice job taking the extra 90 feet, and just one out. Garcia going to prioritize the right side of this infield.
Chatham brings the infield in, situational hitting. A need right now for Wareham, looking for that pivotal insurance run. Garcia chases outside the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Bit eager after a big play from Ramirez. Tried to attack upstairs. Not a great location for Garcia. A little bit of trouble for Swink right now.
Big pitch here for the lefty. He deals. And it's just chopped over to the right side. Foul. Do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wareham was leading the game 5-1. 3 for Chatham in the top of the 7th makes it 5-4, and the Gatemen trying to regain some of that lead here with the new Longhorn, Lincoln Garcia, at the plate. A 1-2. High and away. Makes sense that Swink went back there. Garcia chased a pitch similar to that a couple of pitches ago. Now a 2-2 count. Both these teams hungry for their first win of the season. You can feel it as we get into the late innings of this one here at Spillane Field. The 2-2 pitch hammered into right field. Parker goes back on it. It hops off the wall. Coming into scores Ramirez. Going over to second is Garcia. He is in there sliding safely. And it is a huge 1-out double. 6-4 Gatemen.
Nice job. Good piece of hitting from Garcia. 2 strikes. Doesn't let him phase him. And for Ramirez. Easy jog in.
It didn't even seem like Parker knew where that ball was going. He reacted very late to it, and it was all the way out there to the wall before he could catch up.
Still a bang play for Garcia right at second base. Nice shot from Parker to Lichtenberger. Trying to pose Garcia at second, but the DH in there safely.
So the Gatemen get an insurance run. Now leading things by 2, Dylan Dubovic steps in, who had a double, came around to score, was the first run of the Gatemen season all the way back in the 4th, followed that up with an RBI single in the 5th, and looking to do that once again here in the 7th. Chases outside the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Bovic. It's been great today in this Wareham lineup. Him and Chris Ramirez were the two bright spots up and down the order for the Gatemen on opening day, and today a little bit of the same, but many more contributions from others.
Ground ball over to second. Lichtenberger throws over to first in time. Going over to third on the play is Garcia. And Tony Lira will step to the plate with a runner at third and 2 down.
Another single here. Tack on some more insurance. Big time for the Gatemen to take a 2-run lead, but obviously the more you can pad that advantage, the better. We reach the bottom of the 7th.
And we talked about it plenty, but since the Gatemen scored that first run in the 4th, they've scored in every single inning since. It feels like that offensive momentum has trickled down. This ball's tasered over to third base, hits off the glove of Frazier. Coming in to score is Garcia, and it's now a 3-run lead once again for Wareham off the RBI single from Tony Lira.
Yeah, smoked off the bat. Tony Lira finally gets that hit. 3-game hit streak for the first baseman out of Arizona. He was ready for it. Up and in, right at the hands, turns on it. And it was going to be a very tough play for Gabe Frazier, who has made 2 errors. This one comes in as a hit, but for a third baseman that has certainly had a slow start to the summer, tough play there to corral and especially try and throw out Lira. But with 2 outs, nice piece of hitting, and Wareham has a 3-run lead once again.
2-out RBIs, always the best RBIs in baseball. Jason Wax at the plate now, and speaking of RBIs, he was the man that brought home the first run of this game all the way back in the 4th inning on a ground ball over to second base. Finds himself in a no-ball 2-strike count here against Josh Swink, who's trying to limit the damage for Chatham with already 2 across in this inning.
And Dan, we knew that Wareham was going to score eventually across a 40-game season, but I'm not sure either one of us expected the 7-run outburst. And once Wax did deliver that first RBI, brought in the run, then it seems like the Gatemen have started to pass the baton, and a couple of nice at-bats strung together against the starter, relievers, doing a nice job today.
Just what you want to see. A nice slider there by Swink. Gets Wax looking for the final out of this 7th inning, but it's not before Wareham does some damage. The Gatemen score 2 and make this a 3-run ball game as we head to the 8th inning here at Spillane Field. You're watching Gatemen Baseball on Cape League TV.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy! Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation. Huge slides, a not-so-lazy river, and more ways to cool off than you can count. Plan ahead and save. Tickets as low as $39.95. Rally your crew and lock in your date.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420. Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry.
7-4 Gatemen here at Spillane Field after Wareham plates 2 in the bottom half of the 7th. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. And Adam, it's just what you've wanted to see from Wareham, finally striking and adding some insurance onto the board.
Yeah, nice for Brissy as well, back out on the mound in his debut. Didn't have the inning that he wanted in his first frame of work. 1 hit, 3 runs, 3 walks. So now a chance for him to bounce back as Gateman offense tacked on 2 in the home half of the 7th. And this Wareham offense has been spectacular. 9 hits today. They were not great in the first 2 games.
Not great is putting it nicely. They did not score a run over the first 2 games and were shut out in both of those 5-0 and are now just 6 outs away from grabbing their first win of the season. 6, 7, 8 due up here for the Anglers in the top half of the 8th. And last time Chatham was at the plate, they plated 3 runs to make this one a little bit more interesting. It was a 5-1 game in the top half of the 7th, pulled it all the way to 5-4. And now have to claw back once again from 3 down if they want to make this one a ball game. This one's put in play over to Ramirez. He fields cleanly, throws to first in plenty of time. So the catcher, Corbin Reynolds, is retired to start off this top of the 8th, and there's 1 down.
Ramirez, quick read, charged it, fielded it on a couple of hops, just 5'9", but gloves it cleanly, and we know what the leather can do out there at shortstop for Ryan Smythe and this Wareham team. Felt good, looked good, 1 away early on here in the top of the 8th.
And it's a nice bounce back for Brissy as well. After allowing the previous 3 to reach base, he's retired 3 in a row. It'll be Gabe Frazier, the third baseman, at the dish now for the Anglers. Looks at a first pitch ball, and in this game, 0 for 2 with a walk. That came back in the 4th. Made it all the way over to second base before the inning came to a close. Brissy gets the sign he likes, comes set, and fires. This is down low in the dirt. Wareham wanting to get in the win column. They can taste it now, certainly can see it. Just 5 outs away from getting that first win of the season, and it'll definitely mean more coming here at Spillane Field if the Gatemen can close it out. 3 balls and no strikes. Frazier currently in the portal. Ended Florida State this past season, heading into his junior year. That pitch finds the zone, makes things 3-1.
Yeah, Brissy really needs to settle in. 37 pitches, only 16 for strikes. He's pitching with a 3-run lead as well, so don't really need to dance around. Just man the zone, let your defense make plays right here.
Ball shot over to second base, goes off the glove of Hamilton, and Frazier is aboard. Mentioned letting the defense make plays. He did just that, but Hamilton couldn't come up with it on a hard hit ball from Frazier.
Yeah, I think it's one you just have to live with. Hamilton had a step on it. It was off the mid, but still, gotta feel better about that than if he dances around and pitches outside and then it's ball 4.
So that one goes down as a single. No error given to Hamilton, as it was a very hard hit ground ball. Tyler Lichtenberger to the plate now for Chatham. Going over to second is Frazier. Here's the throw down. Does not make it there in time. Bounces in front of Ramirez all the way over to the second base position. But what a great jump Frazier had there. He was off before Brissy even started the windup.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ramirez tried to do what he could. Stepped in front of the base. Tried a swift tag on the backhand, but couldn't catch the ball. Would have been a tough play either way. Frazier, like you said, had a great jump on it. So, once again, don't worry about it. Continue to try and pound the zone. Well-placed pitch. Open the at-bat, didn't get the call, but still, that run is not the difference.
This one popped up into foul territory on the third base side. Goes out of play. You mentioned it. The Gatemen have a 3-run lead, so that 1 run at second, not a huge deal if it comes across, and obviously you don't want anything to come across, but at the same time, okay living with 1, and Brissy let up 3 runs last inning, so just trying to limit some damage here in the 8th. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Brissy set at the belt, a large lead for Frazier off of second. Pitch comes inside, it misses. 2-1. Lichtenberger walked back in the 7th and then made it all the way around. He was the first run to score in that 7th inning. Represents Chatham's 2nd run of the ball game. And looking to knock in Frazier. Going over to third is Frazier. He's going to get there without a throw. It's his 2nd stolen base for Gabe Frazier. So the 5th run of this game for Chatham is now just 90 feet away. and it's a 3-ball, 1-strike count to Lichtenberger. Brissy working with some traffic. Misses. Ball bounces off of the glove of Nikolai. It's a walk for Lichtenberger. It'll bring the tying run to the plate in Caden Dosa.
I feel like Frazier really wanted to move there from third, but thought better of it with one out in the top of the 8th and with the tying run coming up to the plate.
And Wareham just wanting to talk things over. Nikolai heads out to talk with Brissy just to make sure that they're on the same page. And now everyone coming in as we wait to see if this will be a pitching change for Wareham, and indeed it will be. So Brissy is out of the game. Here in the top of the 8th, he leaves runners at the corners with one down. Some work to do for Wareham on the other side here on Cape League TV.
Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting finance.
Back here in the top half of the 8th, runners at the corners with one down. It's Braden Kersey into the game as it's an Alyssa Watling intuitive call to the bullpen. We've seen Braden Kersey in the first 2 games for the Gatemen at the plate. This time he comes in on the mound in a pivotal spot.
Ryan Smythe goes with the right-hander. In and out of the transfer portal, just finished his sophomore season at Mercer. Announced on June 6th, he's headed to Tennessee, but making his pitching debut on the Cape for the Gatemen. He was Mercer's closer this past year, 6 saves, second most in the Southern Conference. Was first team All-SoCon as the DH, but plenty capable on the mound for the Gatemen and for the Bears this past spring. 6'1", 205-pound right-hander out of Georgia. Made 20 appearances this season, 3 starts, like we just mentioned, 6 saves, 4.95 ERA across 20 innings of work. Just 5 walks, 26 strikeouts, a .260 opposing batting average. It's a guy that hasn't found his groove at the plate, but as he pitches today, tries to find his footing here on the Cape.
Certainly, and you mentioned that hitting. Went 0 for 4 in his first 4 plate appearances, and now comes into a pressure cooker situation going against Caden Dosa, the left fielder. Runners at the corners with one down here in the top of the 8th. The first pitch from Kersey misses down low, 4-1. Mark Brissy leaves the game with an inning and a third on his line. 2 hits, 4 walks, and a strikeout. The 2 runners on base are his, so his line is still open.
Very much the same opposing batting average to both right-handed and left-handed hitters. A slightly worse on-base percentage. Allows right-handed hitters reach base at about 29%, left-handed hitters 35%. So advantage in that department right now to the Anglers.
The 1-1. Cut on and missed by Dosa. And this is a guy that you want up right now if you're Wareham. Dosa has struck out 3 times in this game. And it's not Dosa at the plate. It is a pinch hitter for Chatham That finds himself in a 1-ball, 2-strike count, that being Nolan Traeger. Just fouls off a pitch in front of the plate.
Aiden Dosa's day is done.
And it makes sense given the 3 strikeouts.
And not his day. Dennis Cook elects for a pinch hitter in this situation after the pitching change. Dosa, the right-hander, brings in the lefty Traeger.
Traeger, this is just his second game for Chatham, was 0 for 4 in his first, trying to deliver in a big way. Lines the ball out into left field. Coming in is Apple. He makes the sliding grab, but then drops it. Coming in to score on the play is Frazier. Going over to second is Lichtenberger. And now at first, with the RBI single, is Nolan Traeger. It's a 7-5 game.
Be interesting to see how they score this, because it felt like Foster Apple certainly should have had that one. Yes, he slid. They took a step back before needing to sprint in. And Chatham, if that does count as a hit, that's a tough one for Braden Kersey and Mark Brissy.
Top of the order, Brett Johnson at the plate. Runners at first and second with 1 down. First pitch is fouled off to the left side. And it will go down as a single, no error on Apple. So that'll go down as an earned run against Brissy. And really now for Wareham, got to limit the damage. You have the tying runs on base. Go-ahead run at the plate, clinging to the 2-run lead. Kersey delivers a strike. No balls and 2 strikes on the board. This would be a big strikeout here if he can get it.
Kersey mostly fastball slider. X's in a curveball and a sinker occasionally, but mostly fastball slider.
The 0-2 pitch. Chopped over to the right side. Hamilton charges. He will go to second. Threw it over the head of Ramirez. He catches it, comes down on the bag, and somehow gets the out at second base. What a play by Ramirez to just get an out. And now the umpires are going to talk about this one, because I'll tell you one thing, the Anglers are not happy about that.
Dennis Cook quickly out of the first base dugout, and honestly, I understand why. It did not seem like Ramirez got to the bag in time. As we take another look, he leaves. I think
that's a bang-bang play.
I think Ramirez did get down in time. Nice view there from our production team. So Wareham, a nice play defensively. Ramirez, that's why he's a conference defensive player of the year. Dan.
Bailing out Hamilton on that one.
Yeah, 2 down. Hamilton, not a great throw, but wants to take away that second run in scoring position. Chatham had a chance for the tying run at second.
Not the guy you want to face. Connor Stouse at the dish. 4 for 4 in this game. You probably want to face any other hitter in this Chatham lineup, and he has done damage in this game. A double and then 3 straight singles since. Chatham has the tying runners at on base. The go-ahead at the plate. And a nice pitch there by Kersey to find the bottom of the zone.
Yeah, Shalam has done damage with all kinds of pitches, all kinds of counts. Second base open right now if you want to pitch around him, but it doesn't get easier. It's Jacob Parker, who's 2 for 3 today. That's on deck.
Kersey deals. Schaus thought about it, held off, and a good call by him. It's a ball, 2-0.
I love Kersey's placement on these pitches right now. Even the balls are close misses. He's making the Anglers have to think about it. That was the issue with Brissy, was when he was missing, they weren't particularly close.
Pitch is cut on and missed by Schaus, and now the Gatemen can see the way out of this jam. A 2-ball, 2-strike count, 2 on, with a 2-run lead, 2 down in this inning.
Kersey just went slider. It's his big swing and miss pitch, but that just got it to 2 strikes. See what he dials up here.
Kersey sets, deals. Chopper over to the left side. It's going to be Elam to field, throw to first. In time. Kersey gets out of the jam, and Wareham somehow manages to strand 2 Chatham runners on base. It's a 7-5 lead for the Gatemen as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Chatham scores 1 here in the top half. You're watching Cape League TV.
Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A Plus Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit Reed Custom Soils.
Wareham ahead 7-5 here at Spillane Field. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. Not just our game and action on the Cape tonight, plenty of others around the league, and a team that Wareham will face tomorrow, the Brewster Whitecaps, down 7-1 to the Orleans Firebirds.
Yeah, and big day for the Firebirds, who have been off to a great start in 2026. And Bourne and Katuitt end in a tie. So down there at Lowell Park, game suspended due to darkness. It was tied at 3 between the Kettleers and the Braves. So Katuitt stays without a loss, but Bourne moves to 1-1-1. One of 2 results that have already occurred tonight. YD with a 3-2 win over Falmouth, and the Red Sox move to 3-0, the only unblemished team outside of Katuitt with that one tie in the Cape League.
7-8-9 here for Wareham in the bottom of the 8th. It starts with Cohen Nicolai, who had a monster shot the last time he was at the dish. A solo bomb into deep left field. That put the Gatemen up 5-1 at the time, as it seemed like someone got hit on that foul ball, but all seems to be okay. It's still Josh Swink on the bump for Chatham, and the Anglers will have one last try in the top half of the 9th to come back from 2 down. Wareham looking to pad the lead. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed by Nicolai. He goes down on strikes to start off this bottom of the 8th, and there's 1 down. It'll be Cade Elam stepping into the box next. The third baseman 0 for 2 today, and still without a hit in this season. 0 for 6 overall. Does have a couple of walks, but would like to see a base knock. See one get through. First pitch from Swink. Got on and missed at the top of the zone. What a performance it was in that top half of the 8th by Brandon Kersey. He comes into this game and just shuts the door on the A's. They had runners at the corners with 1 out, and he just deals, and make sure that only 1 run comes across. Can of corn into shallow center field. Johnson in to play it. Was meeting up with his counterpart, Rob Rispoli, who came into this game as a defensive replacement out in left to start off this inning. 2 quick outs here in the bottom half of the 8th as Foster Apple trots to the dish.
Apple 0 for 1 today, but nice job getting on base early on in this one. A walk in the third, hit by a pitch in the fifth. The big fifth inning for the Gatemen, where they totaled 3 runs.
Nice off speed right there from Swink. Makes things 0-1 for Chatham in the top half of the ninth. It will be their 3-4-5 hitters as they try and come back from 2 down and extend or take the lead in this game. Another nice breaker from Swink makes things 0-2. You would expect Braden Kersey to be out there for the first save attempt of the year for the Gatemen. Swink trying to keep this a 2-run game. The 0-2. Fouled off by Apple.
What's especially nice from Wareham is they've kind of gotten to each of the 3 pitchers that Chatham has thrown out there. Against Katuitt, mainly the starter Jackson Yarberry that they hit well and at least generated some offense. Yesterday, mostly early in the game, against the Hyannis starter as well. But then today, 4 hits on the starter Pudvar, 3 on Devote, and 2 already on Swink.
All of that damage has Wareham in line to grab its first win of the season, but going to have to get through a good chunk of the top half of the lineup for the Anglers, the top half of the ninth. Another fly ball into right center field. Parker on it. He makes the play. So it's a 1-2-3 bottom of the 8th for Josh Swink. He keeps this a 2-run ball game. Last chance for Chatham to come back on the other side here on Cape League TV.
Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting finance.
Wareham just 3 outs away from its first win of the season here at Spillane Field as the Gatemen lead the Anglers 5-7. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. It's Braden Kersey still on the mound for the Gatemen here in the top half of the ninth. He got a couple of outs in that top half of the 8th, and Kersey had 6 saves this past season, looking to get his first here with the Gatemen.
Yeah, what an opportunity. Wareham's offense came to play, and not a great day after 6 scoreless from the Wareham pen yesterday. Not as desirable of an outing today, but chance to finish it off today.
First pitch from Parker, grounded over to third, and Elam boots it. Not how you want to start off the top half of the ninth, and Chatham will bring the tying run to the plate.
Not great. Routine ground ball. Elam just not ready as Parker attacks a first pitch. Fastball up and away, and Elam just couldn't corral.
The errors continue for the Gatemen in this game. They are now up to 2. And it'll be Cooper Neville at the plate. The shortstop takes a first pitch strike. Neville, the guy that Wareham wants up in this scenario, he is 0 for 4 on the day. Hasn't made too much of an impact, but could certainly do so in one swing of the bat here in the top of the ninth. Kersey fires. Finds the bottom part of the zone. No balls and 2 strikes.
Kersey can pitch to a ton of soft contact. Didn't allow a ton of home runs at Mercer this year. Pretty solid against left-handed hitters.
The 0-2. Checks his swing. Does not go around. So it'll stay at 1 and 2. Neville had a hit in his first game with Chatham, and obviously nothing here tonight, but looking to grab hit number 2 in a clutch spot. Cuts on the pitch, misses it. It goes behind Nikolai. It's a drop third strike. Going over to first base is Neville. Over to third is Parker, and the defensive woes continue for Wareham. The tying runs are at the corners with nobody out here in the ninth.
Yeah, that's not great. And if you're Braden Kersey, you pitch to a soft ground ball to your third baseman, and then you get strike 3 in a 1-2 count. And now your current position is Chatham has runners on the corners and nobody out with the tying run on base and the go-ahead run at the plate.
Should be 2 outs in this inning, but there is not. It'll be Harlan at the plate. Chops at the first one and misses it. And in this game, Hovatter just hasn't been the best from the dish. No hits, a couple of walks, a strikeout, and a ground out, but he can make up for all of that here in this at-bat. And excuse our scoreboard and me, there is no one over at first base. So that is going to go down as a strikeout, and there is 1 out here in the inning. Is because first base was occupied. There is no drop third strike. Nice correction by our official scorer here at Spillane Field, so it makes things much more manageable here for Kersey.
Yeah, no doubt. And tying run still at the plate. There's still some traffic to work around, but Kersey doesn't allow a ton of hard contact.
Here's the pitch from Kersey. Bounced in the dirt. Nikolai's got it that time. So far in this inning, Parker reached on an error by Elam over at third base. He scooted over to third on the strikeout on on Neville. Hovatter at the dish, and originally Neville made it over to first base, but it was occupied, so he is out on the strikeout. But still, nice fight here from Hovatter. He's pushed this to a full count.
No hits today from the first baseman. He has already drawn 2 walks. I want to make it a third.
The payoff pitch. Broken bat on the play. The ball goes over to Lira at first. He'll step on the bag. Run comes in to score. So it's a 7-6 game, but more importantly, 2 outs on the board, and Wareham is just 1 away from its first win of the season.
A nice job by Lira to keep your eye on the baseball. Flying bat would split into half, but Lira still stayed composed, fielded the ground ball in an inning where defensive miscues have happened multiple times. Doesn't allow another one. Retires that second batter. Gets to win it.
Corbin Reynolds, the last hope for Chatham. The catcher pops the first pitch foul over to the first base side. 0 for 3 for him on the evening. A walk all the way back in the second inning. If Wareham is to go on to win, it would be its first victory of the season. Chatham would be 0-3 on the year. And Wareham right back in action tomorrow at the Brewster Whitecaps. First trip over to Brewster for Wareham this season.
Reynolds, another guy that's hitless today.
Percy and the Gatemen can taste it. The 0-1 rocked into center field. Moving over is Wax. He makes the play, and the Gatemen have their first win of 2026. 7-6 over the Chatham Anglers, and it's a big one. Wareham gets the win, now 1-2 on the year.
Yeah, that's big. After a slow start, get shut out in each of its first two matchups. The Gatemen offense came to play today. 7 runs, took advantage of a couple of Angler mistakes. Chatham couldn't quite do the same to Wareham, and Gatemen now in this pair of home matchups with a victory.
And a big one. They get the first win of the year, 7-6 over Chatham. And from the beginning of the day, it was some dominant pitching, an early run given up in the first inning, but nice bullpen work by the Gatemen helped them to cruise. And it was just the offense seeing that first one get across the plate, and from there on out, they found their way.
Yeah, Ty Stark spectacular today. Came in for the starter Logan Hastings, went 2 2/3, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 5 punch-outs, and obviously assisted by the long ball from Cohen Naklai.
That is the Gatemen's first home run of the season, and Wareham will look to carry the momentum into tomorrow's matchup against the Brewster Whitecaps on the road, seeming like it's going to be a pair of 1-2 teams tomorrow out there in Brewster if the result holds against the Orleans Firebirds.
For the offense, you have to feel a lot better heading into a road matchup at Stony Brook Field tomorrow night.
You certainly do, and once again, it was Braden Kersey getting the job done in the end. He comes in, gets the first save of the season for Wareham. He had 6 of those this past year at Mercer. Gets the first with the Gatemen, and that feels good for the guys in the dugout. The monkey is off the back. Win number 1 of the 2026 Cape Cod Baseball League season has arrived for Wareham. Your final 7-6 tonight from Spillane Field. That's going to do it for our broadcast. A big thank you to our entire production crew behind the scenes, our sideline reporter CeCe, Gabriel, my partner Adam Hipsky, Dan Shalam, wishing you a good night from Spillane Field as the Gatemen take down the Anglers 7-6.